Welcome back to Lennox, South Dakota, where the hometown Orioles, who will be digging pink today, they'll be wearing their pink jerseys, showing their support for breast cancer awareness, taking on a Pierre Governor team that had their Dig Pink event on Tuesday night back at Riggs High Gym. Lennox coming in, a hot team out of Class A, and of course a lot of Class A teams who do just fine in Class AA. We'll talk with head coach Kerry Wheelhouse about that very fact in just a little bit. Before we get into the state of volleyball, let's remind you, for those who are on the road for high school sports or whatever the reason, of course, as we get toward the holiday season, we remind everybody on behalf of the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety to slow the drive, arrive alive. Make sure you're buckling up too. Reminders from the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety. Brian Oakland with you once again, another edition of high school volleyball, and here's how it has happened so far this week as we take a look at the power rankings in just a moment. But scores from the week had Huron defeating Pierre at Riggs High Gym in straight sets on Tuesday night. Other scores at Aberdeen Central sweeping T area. Watertown got a 3-1 win on Sioux Falls Roosevelt. And also Sioux Falls Jefferson with a 3-game sweep of the Brookings Bobcats. And then Harrisburg, who we will see at Riggs High on Tuesday, gets a 3-1 win at Western Christian out of Iowa. Sioux Falls Lincoln, a 3-2 winner over Sioux Falls Washington in the big town, and Spearfish out west sweeping Sturgis in 3 straight. Then on Thursday, Brandon Valley 3-0 over Yankton. Sioux Falls Lincoln with 3 straight over T area. A 3-set sweep for O'Gorman out of over Sioux Falls Washington. And Douglas gets a win 3-0 in over Class A opponent Belle Fourche out of the Black Hills Conference. Then matches that occurred last night. I don't have a lot of results, but Rapid City Stevens did sweep Huron 3-0, and Mitchell gets a 3-game sweep of Rapid City Central. Aberdeen Central is playing up in Fargo this weekend, and they played a few matches as well. And then the schedule today for Class AA has more tournament action. We see Harrisburg, who will be in Pierre on Tuesday, is down in Omaha playing in a tournament at Omaha Scott High School. And Sioux Falls Roosevelt is at Western Christian, and as is O'Gorman. And then you've still got Rapid City Central at Huron, Rapid City Stevens at Mitchell today as well. And I don't believe Aberdeen Central appears to be playing anymore in Fargo today. But here's the power rankings that were as of Thursday night and before Friday's action. Harrisburg still on top at 16-2. Brandon Valley 14-2. O'Gorman a solid third at 11-2. Stevens still playing well, 20-3 as the number 4 seed. Sioux Falls Lincoln would be number 5 at 13-4. Watertown is 12-6. In the 6th spot, Mitchell continues to climb as they're up to number 7 now, 9-4 on the season. Aberdeen Central at 8-5 ahead of Spearfish, who has now fallen to number 9 with a loss in this week of 14-7, or at least somewhere along the way. Then 10-11, still good teams in Sioux Falls, Washington, and Jefferson, and then Rapid City Central in the 12th spot. Huron, who was 14 as of Tuesday night, moved up to 13 after their win over the Governors. Brookings has fallen below them at 14. Yankton and Roosevelt are 15 and 16. That's your Sodak 16 field right there. But Sturgis T and the Governors, along with Douglas, are currently on the outside looking in. The Govs would really have to put some wins together, and some impressive wins most likely, if they want to pass T area, Sturgis, maybe even Sioux Falls Roosevelt. One of the teams that is ahead of them at number 15 is the Yankton Gazelles, and Pierre will be at Yankton in this week ahead. But of course they've got the 3-time state champions coming to Riggs High out of Harrisburg on Tuesday. So that's where the Governors are. That's where Class AA is, the state of volleyball. As for the Lennox Orioles, their opponents today, Lennox is 19-1, but the strength of their schedule still has them down at a number 6 overall ranking in Class A. But in their own region, Region 4A, they still have Sioux Falls Christian, the perennial power, ahead of them, and Dakota Valley, who is 21-2. The Panthers are the top overall seed. And we talk about Del Rapids, who defeated Lennox last week. Del Rapids is the reigning state champion, knocking off Sioux Falls Christian after they had won about 6 or 7 in a row. Del Rapids is number 3 overall, and you still have Winter, who was in the tournament field a year ago, in at number 4 overall. So those are some teams that are still ahead. Lennox does have a difficult schedule. the rest of the way, including matchups with Sioux Falls Christian and Dakota Valley, even after they've already played Del Rapids now. So that's where the Orioles are. They're trying to build some confidence, I think, against a double-A opponent. That can certainly help them out as well. But they'll still, I'm sure, be the favored team in this one. That's a look at the state of volleyball, part of our Governor pregame, your Bank West pregame show. After a 3-minute timeout, we'll chat with head coach Gary Wheelhouse when we talk keys to success. More of the pregame coming up. You're listening to Governor Volleyball on KGFX and DRGnews.com.
Fall sports are here, and Beck Motor Company is proud to cheer on our local athletes. Just like teamwork on the field or court, you can count on teamwork at our dealership. Whether you're driving a new Chevy Equinox, a tough Chevy Silverado, or keeping your current ride in top shape with our service department, Beck Motor Company is here for all your automotive needs. Good luck to all our hometown teams this season. From your friends at Beck Motor Company, we're making a great deal better. www.beckmotors.com, 605-224-5912.
Yourself wanting to be more involved? LiveTicket.tv has the solution for you. They're looking for production managers to assist for this school year. Duties include the management of equipment as well as basic technological understanding. But don't stress, paid training will be provided. Part-time wages starting at $20 per hour. Call 833-605-LIVE, extension 2. That's 833-605-5483, extension 2. And punch your ticket to joining one of the fastest growing companies in South Dakota.
I'm Scott Nye. As a coach for the Pierre Governors, I know a winning game plan is crucial. When it comes to your finances, you deserve one too. At New Edge Advisors, our name is new, but our commitment to you isn't. With the same trusted team you've known, and we've expanded our playbook of resources to help you plan for retirement, manage investments, and protect your future. Let's build the strategy that gets your financial future into the end zone.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors LLC is a separate entity from LPL Financial.
Do you dream of a custom home built within your budget and done on time? Kruger Contracting can make that dream a reality. They're a trusted home builder since 2003, and they're going to be upfront and open about cost and transparent about where your money is going when it comes to your new home. Their skilled crew will manage construction of your new home from start to finish. They're located in Pierre and can build your home in Pierre, Fort Pierre, or the surrounding area. Call 605-222-2523. Visit KrugerContracting.com or find Kruger Contracting on Facebook.
At American Family Insurance, we help protect what you've achieved so you can fearlessly go after your dreams. For auto, home, business, and life, contact us today. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance, Life Mutual, Standard of Ohio, Wisconsin Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
Call the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, LLC, with offices in Pierre, Oneida, and Gettysburg.
Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre is here for you. They make it easy when looking for a new vehicle, getting all available vehicle information so you can spend less time researching and more time enjoying your purchase. Shop their extensive inventory from home at CapitalCityFordToyota.com or stop into Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Count on them for all your service needs with convenient scheduling and in-stock parts. Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre, 605-224-7378.
Well, back in Lennox here.
A team that you really don't know anything about, Class A, and all of a sudden they show up on the schedule this year. Excited about the opportunity, but this is a team that is 19-1 on the season. They've done a lot of things great until they met their match and the reigning state champions from Del Rapids last time out. First of all, off of a loss against Huron on Tuesday night, kind of a slow start there. It's just, hopefully first things first, get off to a good start here today.
Yeah, we seem to get off to a slower start against those teams that we feel like that are kind of evenly matched with us. And it seems like, when we come out against a team, hopefully again today, like we do with Lennox, that we can come out really hard against them and get ready to play right away and know that we're going to have our work cut out for us today.
Good thing about volleyball Tuesday night, you lose that first match, but you at least you get to start over and get another second and third opportunity. It really played Huron pretty well. It's just the finishing aspect, and
in those cases, they had the better runs toward the end of both of the second, third sets.
Yeah, they started running some different offense that we just weren't reading with our blockers as well as we probably could have. And so we really kind of worked on some of that stuff this week of, looking at what we can kind of see across the net and making sure that we're paying attention to that stuff instead of just always reacting to it.
I bet you had a chance to watch Lennox and Del Rapids on film, because that's probably some pretty good Class A volleyball. But man, there's a lot of Class A teams that could do just fine in Double A.
Yeah, Del Rapids and Lennox, watching the two of them, I mean, Del Rapids is such a good team that, against Lennox in the first set didn't look very, they made Lennox look not that hard. But then, Lennox came back and took a set from them too. So we just need to make sure that we're coming out against them. They've got a pretty strong front row. None of their front row players are under 5'10". So they've got a pretty good size and they can jump. So definitely need to use some of our different mix-ups against them. But they also run at 6'2", so we're used to that, used to seeing that. So I think we'll be easy to match up against that. Difference with us is we've got a lefty right side, and they don't. They have that right side, the right-handed right side. So I think we can use that to our advantage.
You talk about all the 5'10s and up to the 6-footers they've got. I mean, it must be 6 or 7 of them on their roster. So you need that good block for sure.
Yeah, we need to get up in front of them, give our back row a chance, and then make sure that we're getting a good static block and not moving too much, because that makes our back row really have to work extra hard if they don't know where they're supposed to be setting up. So yeah, we definitely need to get up in front of them. Maybe not necessarily our middle hitters as a hitter today, but more of a blocker.
Another opportunity, though, when you have when you're playing a team you don't know anything about, it's kind of a good exercise in making adjustments on the fly and acting on what you're learning throughout each match.
Yeah, we watched a little bit of film with them, but it's hard to watch on a one game and not be able to see them all the time. So yeah, being able to adjust and really being able to be proactive in what we're doing and not just reactive to what's happening on the court, I hope we can get that kind of started today.
Other keys to success for this afternoon?
Really, it's the energy, coming out and talking. We got to come out not flat and then keep that energy going.
It's really, because this might still be one of the best teams you play. It's not going to be the best team you play this week coming up, but the best team you play all season, perhaps.
Yeah, and we like playing those. One of the things the girls really wanted to do this year was celebrate playing those hard teams, and I think we've done a good job of that. We've got to do a little bit better of a job playing against the teams that maybe aren't so hard. So today should be a good game for us, and hopefully we're coming out ready to go.
All right, Coach, go have some fun. Make it happen today.
Thanks.
There's Carrie Wheelhouse, the head coach of the Pierre Governors Coaches Comments. Keys to success, part of our Bank West pregame show here in Governor Volleyball on KGFX. Didn't really have a chance to talk on the mic or recorded version with head coach Vanessa Gable of Lennox, as she was doing some serve calling and things like that, maybe some charting in the JV match when we were doing our interview with Coach Wheelhouse as well. So did just chat with her in between sets of that junior varsity match, which Lennox won in 2 straight sets. Talked mostly about how the season has gone already, and of course 19 straight wins for Lennox. But the question is, were they really tested? They didn't have the toughest of schedules, and some of the teams that they're looking at on the schedule so far, Baltic is 13-5. They've beaten them. They've got West Central, a couple of wins over them, who is 14-5 on the season. But quite honestly, coach even admitted they haven't been tested this season up until they met up with Del Rapids last week, and that was Thursday evening, October 2nd at Del's. And the Warriors got the first game 25-17. Lennox comes back and gets the second set 25-20, but the wind out of their sails a little bit in the third set, 25-9, and then 25-21 Del Rapids in the fourth to win it 3-1. Main thing is for Lennox is they found out kind of where they're at in relation to the rest, or the cream of the crop, shall we say, in Class A. And even though Del Rapids isn't in their region, but the fact that Lennox is 19-1, but they're still the 3rd best power-rated team in their own region. They have Dakota Valley and Sioux Falls Christian. Last year, they took Dakota Valley to 5 sets before the Panthers won that match to go on to the state tournament, or at least into the SODAC 16. So Lennox definitely has to be playing their best volleyball starting today, I would say. After they've lost to Del Rapids, they still have a matchup with Dakota Valley. In fact, coming up this Tuesday, they've got the DAC-12 Conference Tournament next weekend. That'll provide some good volleyball competition. They've got Sioux Falls Lutheran. They have another match with Baltic, and then they wrap up the season with a home matchup with Sioux Falls Christians. So definitely they will be tested several times the rest of the way. And, of course, they will be favored here against the Pierre Governors. So we talk keys to success a little bit about that with Vanessa Gable of the Lennox Orioles. Let's give you the starting lineups in this one, the starters coming your way. And, well, I'll tell you what, let's take a 1-minute timeout. I've got to get my starters back in place for the Orioles. And we'll give you the starters after this 1-minute break. You're listening to Pierre Governor Volleyball.
Superior Concrete is proud to sponsor the Governors this season and just as proud to offer the finest concrete solutions available for commercial and residential applications as well as foundation and flat work. The bottom line, if you need anything done with concrete, we can do it. Superior Concrete. Give us a call today for an estimate or more information. That's Superior Concrete. Find us on Facebook or call the office at 605-494-0102. That's 494-0102. Call today.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest Associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose BankWest. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Driven by the Office of Highway Safety, 1060 KTFX Pierre. Rebroadcasting on K276GT, 103.1 FM Fort Pierre. Live sooner, drive slower, live longer.
Back in Lennox, as we give you the starting lineups in this one, let's meet the Lennox Orioles, one of the top teams in Class A, as they will start with a couple of setters. Katie Sherrard, the primary setter, 5'7", and a sophomore. Hannah Adney will set as well. She's a senior at 5'4". Excuse me, we talked with Coach Wheelhouse about the height of Lennox at front, and they do have they are not lacking for height. They've got 8 players on this roster who are 5'10", 5'11", or 6 feet tall listed in the program. So the hitters include Jersey Hostetler, a 5'9", sophomore, as well as Libby Kranz, a 5'10", sophomore, Riley Heaton, a 5'10", 5'11", junior, Sydney Johnson is a 5'10", junior in the middle, Mallory Bittner, a 6-foot junior in the middle. So of all of that height, I didn't say any seniors, in fact, in that list. So a young squad, but an up-and-coming squad at that for Lennox. Jersey Hostetler, Katie Sherrard, Libby Kranz, Riley Heaton, Sydney Johnson, Mallory Bittner, the starting rotation. Andy Peters, a 5'5", senior, is the libero for the Lennox Orioles and their head coach, Vanessa Gable. Let's take a 2-minute timeout. We'll meet the Governors and we'll name our game officials when we come back after this break. You're listening to Pierre Governor Volleyball.
Dakota Storm Roofing is a locally owned roofing company in Pierre, specializing in both residential and commercial roofing services. They can handle your asphalt shingle, metal roofing, and flat roof needs. New construction, plus all types of roof repairs. They can handle the finishing touches, adding fascia, soffit, and gutters too. No job is too big or too small. For a free estimate, call Dakota Storm Roofing at 280-9794. Go to dakotastormroofing.com or find them on Facebook or Instagram.
Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre is here for you. They make it easy when looking for a new vehicle, getting all available vehicle information so you can spend less time researching and more time enjoying your purchase. Shop their extensive inventory from home at capitalcityfordtoyota.com or stop into Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Count on them for all your service needs with convenient scheduling and in-stock parts. Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre, 605-224-7378.
Chances are you're overlooking a big energy thief in your home or commercial building. the garage doors. But Overhead Door Company of Pierre can help stop that energy waste with a full range of insulated, weather-tight garage doors. Their residential garage doors give you insulated performance at an uninsulated price. And their Thermocore insulated steel doors give commercial buildings the energy efficiency they demand today. Find out more. Call Overhead Door Company of Pierre at 1-800-649-9905 and put a stop to the garage door energy thief.
Inheritance, romance, and investment scams continue to plague South Dakotans with high dollar amount losses. They prey on vulnerable adults and swindle consumers out of their funds. Scammers befriend the victim, making it difficult for them to see the reality of what's happening. If you have a loved one susceptible to this type of scam, sit down and talk with them about these issues before it happens to them. If you or a loved one have been scammed in this manner, please reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
Back in Lennox, Brian Olkin with you. You just heard from the South Dakota Attorney General's Office Consumer Protection Division. They sponsor the naming of our game officials today. We'll do that after we finish our starting lineups. Here are the Governor starters once again, led by the setters, Molly Olson, a 5'6 junior, and Sloan Waldron, a 5'7 senior. Setting the way up for the hitters, including Allie Keys, a 5'8 junior, Alexis Schleckaway, 5'7 senior, who's listed as a defensive specialist, but has been doing some attacking along the way as well. Alyssa Lowe, the 6-foot junior, Addie Novotny, a 6-foot sophomore, in the middle for the Governors as well. Off the bench, we'll see Marina Bushbaum, a 5'9 junior, hitting up front. Sierra Prunty, Lola Keenholz in the back row at times as well for the Pierre Governors. Starting with Olson, Keys, Waldron, Schleckaway, Lowe, and Novotny, and the libero is Hadley Hart, the 5'6 senior for the Pierre Governors. Head coach Kerry Wheelhouse, assisted by Rachel Arbach and Peyton Gall. They'll take on the Lennox Orioles for, I imagine, the first time ever in high school volleyball here in Lennox. And they've got a fairly new gym, a nice facility here. If you're wondering where Lennox is, it's just southwest of Sioux Falls. They've got a lot of folks who I'm sure work in the Sioux Falls area, and kind of a thriving town of 2,500 people, but always a good athletic hotbed here. Of course, they're most well known for their basketball program, especially from the boys' standpoint. Back in the 80s and 90s, they had a cross-state rivalry with Custer like no other, probably in the state of South Dakota. But of course, that would have been in the Class A ranks. But that's kind of where you've probably heard from Lennox. In fact, their high school football team is the reigning Class 11A state champions, as they won in the Dakota Dome a year ago. They've got a little video going as they try to get their fans fired up for the naming of their starting lineups. And once again, Lennox will bring people like Jersey Hostetler, Katie Sherrard, Libby Kranz, Riley Heaton, Sydney Johnson, and Mallory Bittner to their starting rotation. Today's game officials, our law on the court, are Jill Christensen and Belinda Miller. Mike Larson and Clint Johnson are the line judges, and we thank all of our officials for doing what they do. A thankless job at that in officiating high school volleyball. Thanks, Jill Christensen, Belinda Miller, who we saw in Pierre on Tuesday night, along with Mike Larson and Clint Johnson. Those are the game officials. Thanks, folks, for being our law on the court. Again, sponsored by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office Consumer Protection Division. As we get set to go here, first serve coming up. And quick check on the last check that we had on the soccer match. Had playoff soccer. The Pierre Governors scored 3 unanswered goals and took a 3-1 lead over Watertown. But Watertown has a goal in the second half, and the Governors have countered with another. And right now it's Pierre 4, Watertown 2. The winner of that goes to the semifinals, which will be played on Tuesday. And most likely, the winner of that would get second-seeded Harrisburg. First serve in the way. And across is Lennox in pink as they're digging pink. Got the return from the Governors. Bit of a free ball, but then Lennox gets it up to Mallory Bittner in the middle, a 6-foot junior who hammers it across. Governors on reflex opportunities, just a little bit late in getting to it. And the Lennox Orioles will strike first. Pink jerseys with black numbers, black trunks, hitting from right to left. The Governors are in their road greens, the new jerseys for this year, as Allie Keys will get a tap across the way, left side, through the Oriole block and down the Governors with their first points of the afternoon. Would certainly love to see Pierre just get in some kind of a rhythm and stay in it and get some good swings, even though they get a tap kill here. Next serve for the Governors, actually their first serve, goes from Hadley Hart. Lennox will set it back ways outside, and the Govs are able to get a block touch on it. Now a cross-court attack, and it's Sloan Waldron swinging from the right side. Near side, of course, the Governors hitting from left to right, and Waldron scores. Governors with a 2-1 lead early on. That's the kind of system you want to see if you're a Governor fan. And see if they can get some consistency going here today as well. Orioles will play up the next serve from Hadley Hart. Good high passes, high sets. They get in system, but they can't get the shot down. Novotny will not either. Good dig in the back row for the Orioles from Livy Kranz. Now a dig by the Governors and Schleckaway. Kranz runs down another one off the block touch. Good volley going, but Lennox will miss low and into the net. The attempt by Jersey Hostetler as she comes up on the run, but the error makes it 3-1, the point to the Governors. And Hart will be ready to bring it again. Hadley, the southpaw, goes up the far sideline. Kranz with a pass up to the setter here. And a touch off the floor by Waldron, but then hit the other way by Keys. And I believe that is going to be, trying to look at my numbers out there on the floor once again. Number 2, Jersey Hostetler, came from that right side, if I'm not mistaken. So 3-1 it was. Now 2 serving 3. Here come the Orioles again. Strange you do so much AA volleyball. You see a Class A team for the first time ever, and you've got to get acquainted with all of these Lennox Orioles. Once again, they're a black and orange team, but they are digging pink here today. Good swat in the middle for Addie Novotny. And the Governors will claim side out, right back, one and done for Lennox. So here comes Sloan Waldron. Using the right side of the service line. This one just across the net, played low by Kranz again. Now up on the dig by Waldron. Here's Keys from the 10-foot line. That one blocked, but right there. Kranz up front. She rattled the net just a little bit. Will play on. That was harmless. And a free ball back to the Orioles. Power tap, back to the net, and Bittner is there to put it home. Waldron probably was not expecting that power tap, the one-hander on the second touch, to come her way, but when she got the dig up, it was right there for Bittner to put it back home, and the Orioles get the point, side out as well. And now their libero, Andy Peters, will serve, but she'll hook it out of bounds on the near side. Waldron was there to call the shots. And direct traffic, the Governors make the right decision. And they've got the serve back. 5-3, girls in green with the lead. And 3 hits, not enough to return the serve here by Allie Keys. And the Orioles with a serve return miscue. Second hitting error. 6-3 our score. Pierre off to a pretty good start. Keys left to right, knuckle serve, and a reflex effort to get it across. Schleckaway's going to clear it back. Pierre had to kind of return the favor a little bit. Here's Hostetler from the right side, up to the rafters. That actually came back to Waldron, and now Hart is able to get a long back bump. Free ball away. Here's a tapper from the middle, but missed wide right on the far side. The attempt by Sydney Johnson. Lennox, I think in some regards, early on, I would say Lennox might be trying to be a little too perfect, especially with some of their tap touches. Still trying to get their feet underneath them here, but there's a good shot, 10-foot line attack, and that is Libby Kranz, a 5'10 sophomore, who will put one away for the first time. That was 3 in a row for the Governors. They built a 7-3 lead, now 7-4. Substitution brings Hostetler out for the Orioles. And number 12, Hannah Adney, the second setter, 5'4 senior, is on for the first time. Just a couple of seniors on this squad. They're libero Andy Peters and this young lady, Hannah Adney. Solid serve. That's an ace as that one eats up Alexis Schleckaway. And Adney with the first ace of the afternoon. 5 serving 7, Adney. See where she goes this time. It's middle back, but Hadley Hart can't get that one high enough off the ground either. Back-to-back singles here for Adney, the senior. Suddenly Lennox is within one, 7-6. The next one is into the net. A little too short. 3 in a row that time, including the side out point. Now Sierra Prunty will check in for the Governors. Addison Novotny is out. Hadley Hart rotating up front as the libero has to come out. She's replaced by Alyssa Lowe, the 6-foot junior, for Pierre. This is Prunty to serve. Lola Keenholz is also playing back row after Allie Keys served earlier. We've got a net violation. And the return of serve by Lennox got a little too close to the net up front. It was Adney trying to play it out of there, but her push upward rattles the underside of the net. Here with the point, 9-6. Early on here, Kranz with the first play, a backhand swat away by Addison Martz, 5'11" senior. Actually, there's a third senior out there. Martz will get another crack at it, had to step back to the 10-foot line, and she puts one right in between Keenholz and Prunty in the back row. And Addison Martz scores for the first time. Governor's still maintaining the lead right now, up 9-7, and Kranz will serve. Addie Stuckey played through the back row. She's a 5'4" sophomore for Lennox, but she is out, now replaced by Riley Heaton, a 5'11" junior up front. And Schleckaway takes her eye off the ball in the return of serve. Another knuckle effort here, and Libby Kranz with the ace. Serve receive going to have to be cleaned up for the Governors here. Still leading 9-8. Kranz goes to Schleckaway again. Keenholz might have called it indecision, and this is one of the things I had a chat with Coach Kerry Wheelhouse about. There's just there just aren't the personalities on this Governor squad to have people say, I'm going after every ball. We've got girls who are just too nice, if you will, in the capital city, and that's where we're at right now. There's a good block by Bushbaum up front here near side, and now miscommunication. Two people in the same place at the wrong time for Lennox, so they'll kind of give one back after the Governors gave a couple of aces to force a 9-9 tie. Now side out back to Pierre. And the Governors lead 10-9. Bushbaum is out. Molly Olson into the back row. She'll serve it up. Across, Orioles, a little bit of chaos, but they do get a nice bump pass by Adney to leave it for Riley Heaton, who will swing and score. 6th kill of the afternoon. 5 different players scoring for Lennox in the kill column. The Governors so far with just 3 kills, but Lennox has helped them out with 5 errors as well. It's 10-5. Sydney Johnson serving, I believe it is. Alyssa Lowe, 2-hand tap back across as Adney gets a chance to set up Heaton. She'll go down the line. Power tap, but Olson covered it up. Unfortunately, Lexi Schleckaway missed times and will hit into the net. And Lennox has their first lead since 1-0. Set number 1 on the way to 25. It's 11-10. Orioles on their home floor. Here's Waldron with the first play up, wants it back, but she is blocked right back home. Ace block. And the Governors will take a timeout. The block goes to Addie Martz, and Lennox has the first 2-point lead of the day. 12-10. Orioles lead. Timeouts in our broadcast are brought to you by Agtegra, your local Agtegra cooperatives. We'll talk about them when we come back after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to Pierre Governor Volleyball.
Make sure your John Deere Active Yield system is working for you. Active Yield measures and monitors your yield in real time, but accurate data starts with proper calibration. Save yourself the phone calls and downtime with these quick tips. Regularly check and clean sensors and components, and recalibrate when switching crops or after major maintenance. And if software issues pop up, Grossenberg Implement's Precision Ag Support Team is just a call away. 402-256-6303. They'll keep you running smoothly this harvest. From everyone at Grossenberg Implement, stay safe out there and have a
What if we said a bank isn't a place to lock up money? It's a place to set it free. What if the point of banking wasn't to bank at all, but to put your ideas to work? What if your bank asked, what if a little more? Well, what if we told you we do? We're American Bank and Trust, where what if meets why not? If you're ready to change what you get out of banking, start a relationship with us. What if you made the move today?
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Back on serve, back within 1, 11 serving 12. Out comes Keenholz, in comes Allie Keys. She'll start left front, and this is Schleckaway to serve, and a good effort to the back left corner, but that one does sail, and it's tracked all the way by Andy Peters. Good court awareness that time. First service error for the Governors. Back to Lennox, 13, serving 11. 2-for-2 swap, and now checking in is Katie Sherrard. The starting setter. Lennox, I think, rotates their two setters here, front and back, and the Governors cause a little more miscommunication. They'll have a miscue in return of serve. Low hit it into the net, but Schleckaway was breathing right down her backside as well. Maybe saying, I got it also. This one played up by Keys. Wanted it back, didn't get it. It goes to the middle and low with a good adjustment in the air. Had to reach back for it, but still able to swat it across, off the block and down. 2 kills in that stretch for Alyssa Lowe. And the Governors will take serve back, but they still trail 12-14. Pierre led through the single digits up to 10 or so throughout, leading by 2 or 3, as many as 4 at 7-3, but Lennox chipped away. But now the Govs get a service ace by Hadley Hart, as there was no legitimate shot to make a play for Lennox, even though they got 3 touches on it. Hart with the ace, the first for the Govs. 13 serving 14. She'll go up the far sideline again. High bump pass here. Hart, first touch with a bump. Keys will set it back into Waldron's area with the bump pass. Now back to Lennox as they get a dig from the back line. Block touch. Nice lunge by Schleckaway to keep it alive. Keys, palm shot across, then returned by the Orioles on a dive. Here's Waldron behind her. Actually, Waldron from Olsen, but Sloan is dug up. Now Hostetler, a dig for the Govs. Big swing, Allie Keys, but a good block touch by the Orioles. Another good volley going and down the outside, out of bounds for Lennox. Was there a touch? Nope, I don't believe so. The Governors get the point. Hitting error number 6 for the Orioles. Both teams played very well, both up front. There were great block touches, good keep-alives by the back row for both teams. And this ball goes out of the gym. The interesting thing here in a Class A gym, the Governors are used to having ball girls kind of keep a stash of balls in the corners of the court, but they don't have that here in Lennox, so the players have to basically run things down themselves. And now another Hadley Hart serve, and 3 touches for the Orioles, not going to be enough. The Governors have now run off 4 in a row and counting. They're back in front, 15-14, set number 1. This one's set up into the air, first touch by Libby Kranz. Free ball to cross. Molly Olsen, second touch is over and down in the campfire, out of the reach of the Lennox Lib. And now Vanessa Gable takes her first timeout. A spot kill for Molly Olsen, and the Governors lead 16-14. Governors looking good so far. We'll take another 30-second Ag-Tegra break, see if they can keep it going when we come back with more Pierre Governor Volleyball.
When you're thinking of a new or used car, motorcycle, pickup, or RV, think of us. We make all sorts of vehicle loans. We can set you up with payments that fit your budget. So if you have getting some new wheels in mind, stop by and see us. We'll get you the right loan. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. We're big on you.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
First set. Governor girls are leading the Watertown Arrows at the PILC soccer fields 5-2, and that one's got to be, we're guessing, maybe 5 or 6 minutes left in that contest. You can hear the rest of it on River 92.7. Justin Cowart and Chris Derry on the call of that one. Out of the Ag-Tegra timeout, Lennox gets things righted for this point. They get the bump set spike, and Jersey Hostetler goes down the left sideline, and we'll get one out of the reach of Schleckaway in the back line. Good run there for the Governors. We'll see if they can get a quick side out, but currently 16-15, and it looks like this one certainly up for grabs for either team. Schleckaway with an extra return of serve. Big swat, Keys, but right there is Mallory Bittner. Bittner with a brick wall block. The ace block. Keys got blocked up pretty well against the Huron Tigers the other night. And the Govs really had to change things up as far as getting Allie Keys some swing opportunities. They may have to do that again. Keys denied there. Now this is Novotny, but the line judge on the far side says that one was wide of the pin. It came down on the sideline, far side, but it is out of bounds. The third error here for the Govs, and suddenly Lennox is back in front. We've changed leads 3 or 4 times so far here in the first set. Now this time it's Waldron. Bittner is there again defensively, but this time it comes straight down on the Orioles side, and Sloan Waldron wins the battle here. The kill for the Govs and side out to tie at 17. Olsen subs out. Bushbaum will be back in up front. Waldron serves, and a good line drive played up by Libby Kranz, who had to adjust down the line, and Waldron kept it alive and then pushed out to the far side. It might have been a set assist for Bushbaum. The put away goes to Allie Keys. That one was more of the power tap, but it's through the block and down. The Governor's lead again, 18-17. Got a good one going here, Saturday afternoon volleyball. Here's Bittner from the middle, angling far side right. And that one just on the sideline as well. Mallory Bittner scores her third kill along with a big ace block here in recent events. 18-18. Two teams that may be more evenly matched than we thought. Coming into this one, this will be Peters to serve for the Orioles. Waldron with a bump pass up in the middle for Novotny, blocked and then immediately returned. Now Keys will get a shot, and that one out of the reach of Addie Stuckey in the back row. Allie Keys with a smash, her third kill. The Governor kill numbers are starting to climb. One and done for the O's, and it's back to the G's for the serve. 19-18, Keys into the back line. Pushed up by Peters. And the good setup here off the net, but this rattles the pin on the near side, so a miss on the attack. And Vanessa Gable says we might have to check that because it is no longer vertical. Now, the one thing about that hit, initially I thought maybe Addie Martz hit it so hard off the top of the net that that's what rattled the pin, but the line judge with a better view on it. 20-18 Govs, and now Lennox comes up with another swinging kill in the middle. And Sydney Johnson, I believe, collecting her first. We'll see who they give that one to. No, they're not keeping them on the board, but Johnson, the 5'10 junior, was in the middle. Could have been Libby Kranz as well. Back to the Orioles with the serve, but they trail 20-19. Governors by a single point. And now a service miss as this one slices out of bounds from Hannah Adney. Hart out, Low back in for the Governors. Keys, who was the last server, is out, and Lola Keenhol's back in. The rotation brings Sydney Prunty in for the Governors. 21-19. More miscommunication for the Orioles on serve return. Now a middle shot here for Lowe, and that one is dug up nicely by Adney. Here's a block for the Governors. It stays on the net. Now falls to Lennox, and Martz with the shot. That'll go. Governors had a block touch, but it still got to Sierra Prunty a little too quick in that back line, and Addie Martz scores this one. 21-20 Governors, as they'll wait the serve from Libby Kranz. Addie Stuckey out. Once again, it is Riley Heaton back in to play up front for the Orioles. Here's Lowe. Set timing wasn't quite right for the Governors. They had to free ball it. There's Heaton. Reach, and Hadley Hart's dig goes up into the rafters. Down too quickly, and that'll be a swinging kill for Riley Heaton. 21-21. Who wants this first game? We've yet to find out. Right to left for the pink Orioles. Governors track this one. Fortunate that it falls just an inch or two out of bounds. According to the line judge in the back left from our vantage point, another service miss fourth of the game for Lennox. 22-21, the Governors lead on the race to 25. Here's a block by Pierre. Now loose ball up front. Low with it down. No, the follow-through is into the net. And Alyssa Lowe, yeah, she got the hammer across. It wasn't hit very hard, but it did fall into the campfire, so to speak, but her follow-through did rattle the net, and now back to Lennox it goes, 22-21. Here's Waldron, rather Olsen keeping one alive. Pierre free balls it back on the return. Riley Heaton is down the line with some smoke, and Lennox takes the lead, 23-22. Heaton hard hitting. 3 kills in the set. The Governors need a timeout, an Agtegra timeout, reminding farmers that Acres Ahead can maximize your farm's earning potential straight from the start. Contact your local Agtegra cooperative today. The finish coming up to game number 1 after a 30-second break. You're listening to Pierre Governor Volleyball.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
23-22, they have the lead. Of course, we're heading to 25. You still have to win by 2. The Governors use their final timeout of this first set. Brian Oakland play-by-play. Haley Hansen in studio. Caleb Brozick is here as well. The serve from Lennox out of the timeout goes wide right by Sydney Johnson, so the Governors will get it back, and it's 23-all. Schleck away. Line drive, and it's taken off of the floor, but hit back to the net, and that's an ace for Schleck away. Heaton just couldn't get low enough. Second ace for the Governors. How about set point for the Pierre Governors, leading 24-23. Schleck away again, left to right, has it across. Peters with a bit of a miss hit, but it's kept alive. Big hit, but an ace block for the Governors. It's Alyssa Lowe, puts it down, and the Pierre Governors strike first, scoring the last 3 of set number 1. And they defeat the Lennox Orioles in the first set on the Wagner Auto scoreboard. It's Pierre 25, Lennox 23. The Governors lead 1-0. Scoreboard brought to you by Wagner Auto Company of Pierre, South Dakota's oldest auto dealership, family owned from the beginning, the one place to go. Let's pause for 2 minutes. We'll be back with set number 2. You're listening to Pierre Governor Volleyball. Your official home for the Govs is KGFX and DRGnews.com.
At Ringneck Energy, their mission is to produce renewable energy that adds value to grain and livestock production, enhances the income of their investor partners, and provide a safe, rewarding work environment. Located at 901 Redwood Avenue in Oneida, South Dakota. Call 605-945-6900 or check ringneckenergy.com. A proud supporter of local schools and wishes all students the best of luck in all their activities during the school year, creating economic opportunities in our community.
Ready to gain an edge in your career? Tide Machinery's Service Technician Apprenticeship Program is designed for anyone wishing to become a diesel mechanic working on Case IH equipment through full-time, on-the-job training. Enjoy hands-on work experience, learn from factory-trained service experts, and apply your knowledge from school directly to your work with this unique program opportunity. Become a titan in the industry and grow with a dealership that invests in you at Tide Machinery, Highmore, Miller, and Pierre, your local Case IH dealer. Visit TitanMachinery.com/careers to learn more.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Wow, Bill, you're walking so much better. What did you do?
Well, I got so tired of the pain and nearly fell. And one of my friends recommended physical therapy at Winter Physical Therapy. And you know what? My back also stopped hurting.
Huh. So how did you get started?
My doctor wrote me a referral, but that's not always needed. Turns out you always have a choice where you want to go.
So why did you choose Winter Physical Therapy?
I love to support our locally owned small businesses, and quite frankly, they give great personalized care.
Winter Physical Therapy. Exceptional care.
When life gets
Welcome
hard
back
and
to
our-
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
To defeat the Lennox Orioles 25-23. Lennox did have the advantage in the kill column 12-9 and in the ace column 4-2, but Lennox did commit 8 errors on the floor plus 5 service errors that really helped the Governor cause out. Governors with just 5 combined, 4 on the floor, 1 in serve. Errors, that is. And that's a reason why the Governors win game number 1. And to start with a service ace on our first serve of the second set. And that comes from Lexi Schleckaway. Her second ace so far. Lennox let that one go, thinking it might be long, but it landed 1.5 feet fair. Now Libby Kranz will play from the middle back. Good swat here from Mallory Bittner. 2 blocks up front, actually blockers, who fell to the floor but still kept it alive for the Governors. And Pierre is crossing the center line after negating what was a great dig by Hadley Hart on that last sequence. That'll be an error for the Governors. And a 1-1 beginning to game number 2. Riley Heaton out. Addie Stuckey is in to serve. The 5'4" sophomore hooks one left from the right side to the near side. And that'll go out of bounds. Another service error. Vanessa Gable does give serving signals to her servers, so they're trying to hit spots, but they have missed on 6 occasions so far. A little chaos for Lennox returning the serve, but Pierre has to free ball it back on the return. Good block touch. Dig in the back by Olsen. Here's a big swing for Allie Keys, but once again, there is Mallory Bittner, the 6-foot junior, strong player up front. 3 kills and now 2 ace blocks, and Keys was locked and loaded on that one. Was denied nonetheless, and we've got a 2-2 start here. Another block up front by Sydney Johnson. Pierre kept it alive. Waldron clears it out. Out to the far side. This one goes beyond the 10-foot line. A shot by Hostetler. Dug up. Now down the line. And this one's going to go to Lennox as Jill Christensen on the ladder calls a catch and throw. Lift on Allie Keys. That play happened right in front of our R1. That'll give Lennox a 3-2 lead. Talking about Ms. Christensen, Coach Christensen, our R1 official. We'll get back to it. Now we've got Lennox in the net, so they give the favor back, so to speak. Jill Christensen, just a wonderful lady. She happens to be the all-time winningest head coach in South Dakota volleyball history. And she coached Parker for a lot of years. State champion 2 or 3 times over those years. 837 career victories. And here she is, giving back to the game that she's already given so much to in South Dakota as an official, member of our law on the court. Libby Kranz with an ace, or with a kill, let's say. 4 serving 3, Lennox. Early in the second set, Governor's got the first one. Here's Marina Bushbaum. Windmill swing, but not much on it. There's a low dig for Hart, but this one comes over the scorer's table and out of bounds. And another hot shot kill for Kranz, I believe it was. Lennox will try to build a cushion here early on. Set number 2, it's 5-3. Schleckaway plays the next one up. One run down by Waldron. Offhand tap across, and that's good for Marina Bushbaum. She's a left-handed player, but coming up on the run, she pushed it across with the right hand. And Myrna will get her first point of the afternoon. 4 serving 5, Governor's trailing. Here's Keys to serve. As Andy Peters goes to the knees to make the play, and now the swing by Sydney Johnson will go long. past the end line. And the Governors with another one, and 5 serving 5. Keys again from the middle of the service line. Peters tried to get under it, but it was a line drive on the return. That was a pretty good pass by Hannah Adney out to the near side, but into the net. The miss by Martz. And another point to Pierre. Well, Lennox has just had too many errors so far in the early going. I'm sure they'll try to clean that up. Here's Martz with good body control, running up on it, taps it over. Governors can't make the play, and Martz able to stay out of the net. Her feet did cross the center line slightly, but good body control to keep the body away from the net. Third kill for Addie Martz. Governors led 6-5, and now it's 6-6. Serving is Libby Kranz. Here we'll play it up, and they had system, but the pass on the set caused Addie Novotny to adjust a little bit, had to reach back, and she can't get enough on it to get it over. It'll stay on the Pierce side. Third error of the set for the Governors. Big serve here. Kranz serving well, but Hadley Hart on the return. Pierre had to tap it back, though. Here's Heaton, and that one blocked by Bushbaum and Novotny. Now back on the right side. Not the forte for Addie Martz. Here's a free ball return from Schleckaway. Small hit first, but they do get it up in the air. Riley Heaton will swing through the block and down to the campfire, out of the reach of the diving Lexi Schleckaway. Riley Heaton's 4th kill. She had 3 in that first set, as did Mallory Bittner, as did Allie Keys for the Governors, to lead the way for both teams respectively. Here's Hart clearing out from the back row. Quick set. Johnson is wide right again for Lennox. As that one out of bounds, and error number 4. Lennox up 8-7 now. They ran off 3 in a row quickly. Novotny back out. Sierra Prunty will check in. Another ball that went through an open door and out of the gym. They've got an extra stash at the scorer's table, but they'll have to get some back here if that continues to happen. Prunty with a good serve to the near side. Here's a big swing by Addie Martz out on the far side, but the Governor block is there, and Schleckaway, the one with the biggest smile. Lexi gets up and gets the denial. Defensive block point for the Governors. Prunty will serve again. Steps into it, middle back. Played up by Andy Peters. Second touch is over, but that's covered up by Sloan Waldron. Now low. Feet on the floor, clears it away. The first touch by the setter, Adney, and then as Andy Peters was trying to come up from the libero spot to get the second touch, runs right into the middle player, Sydney Johnson. So a gift kill somewhat for Alyssa Lowe, and the Governors are back in front. Set number 2, 9-8. Pierre trying to take a 2-set lead. And Riley Heaton will come back and palm one to the middle of the Governors' side. She'll score again and get side out back to the home team. More lead changes so far here in the second set. 9-9. I've already got 5 lead changes on the way to 9-9. It'd be 6 if Lennox wins this point in this second game. And boy, Bushbaum alert, and she got a tap across, and then she was calling out the player across from her for rattling the net or maybe crossing the center line. And eventually Belinda Miller makes the call. Had a nice chat with Belinda as well before this match. She did the Huron match on Tuesday night in Pierre. She lives down south of here in Viborg, South Dakota. Had a long trip back. She still had to make a stop to a local eatery before she left the capital city. Service error, I believe, was at Hart who served for the Governors. It was out of bounds near side. We've got a 10-10 score in game number 2. On the move, roll shot for Schleckaway. Defended nicely at the net for the Orioles, and they get it back to Heaton near side. Great cross-court angle for Riley Heaton, who might be the hot hand that Lennox needs to try to keep pace and keep control or take control of this match as long as she's roaming through the front line. Setter Katie Sherrard serving. Here's Lowe taking a swing, but that's blocked right back to the Govs. Cleared out by Waldron on the second touch. Here's a pass by the libero. Peters up for the tap back to the Governors. Now Olsen will set up. Schleckaway denied. It's coming right back to Pierre, and Lowe will tap it back again. Sherrard to the back row. Huge hit this time for Libby Kranz. And that one shoots its way into the middle back of the Governor back line. Ola Keenol's nodding as she takes instruction from head coach Carrie Wheelhouse. But that was a good play there for Lennox. Katie Sherrard set it to the back line. Libby Kranz hammered it. And now a lob serve that'll turn into an ace for the Orioles. That is Sherrard. First ace of the second set for Lennox, and now on a 4-0 run, it's the Orioles taking a 13-10 lead. They lead by a field goal. Governors will take a timeout here. Timeout's brought to you by Agtegra and your local Agtegra cooperatives in central South Dakota. Back in 30 seconds, Governors are up a set here in Lennox on KGFX.
Get too much to bear. Finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
Most people don't back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Ahead, maximizing farms' earning potentials straight from the start. Contact your local Agtegra cooperative today. Congratulations to Kira Swenson and the Governor girls soccer team. They get a playoff victory in the quarterfinals, defeating Watertown 6-2 in a match heard on River 92.7. And seen at drgnews.com. Pierre will play on Tuesday nights, and until I see anything further, I will assume they will go to Harrisburg. Harrisburg is the 2 seed, Pierre is the 3. And Harrisburg and Rapid City Stevens have been the cream of the crop of the top 2 seeds all season long. Out of the timeout, Lennox continues the rally as Riley Heaton continues her scoring barrage. 4 kills in this set, and it's 14-10. Katie Sherrard continues to serve. Here's another ace. Keenholz gets to it. But as it comes back to the net, Molly Olsen can't reach on the leap. Sherrard sent us to timeout with an ace. And her second point out of the timeout is an ace. Lennox with a 15-10 lead. This is the biggest lead for either team in either of our first 2 sets this afternoon. Waldron will add to that as she will miss. Too tall, too long. 16-10. Pierre's biggest lead, or the biggest lead for either team in the first set, was 7-3 when Pierre had that lead early on. Again, the Governors won that first game 25-23. Schleckaway returns the next one. Olsen tries to catch him with the set attempt, and Sherrard's foot goes across the center line on set touch number 2. Another error for the Orioles. And right now, that was about the only thing that could kill a 7-point rally for Lennox as they took a 6-point lead. Back to 5, 11 serving 16. Schleckaway sends it across from left to right. There's Bittner off the block, and Waldron and Olsen both had opportunities, but neither could get it. 4th kill from Mallory Bittner, the 6-footer up front. Quick one and done for the Govs. It's 17-11 Lennox. As it is Heaton to serve it from right to left. Alyssa Lowe with a swat, played by Peters, run down by Sherrard. Here comes another back row try, this time by Heaton. That one cannot find its way down the way Kranz's opportunity and effort did before the timeout. And what are we saying now? They're saying Lennox served. Did you see why? Was there a touch at the net? Must have been a touch by Pierre, so Heaton does get the kill. Lennox with the point. They lead by 7. 18-11 Heaton. Short on the next one. It's over the net, but short of Schleckaway, who dives. All she could do was short hop that one, so Heaton will get the ace this time. Her first. 3rd of the set for Lennox, and their 7th of the afternoon. 19-11. Lennox looking more comfortable now here on their Dig Pink Day. Here's Lowe with a hot shot. Nice set by Waldron away from the net. And Alyssa Lowe, 4 or 5 feet off the net, gets up high and hammers it home. Pierre needed that point, but they need a little bit of a run here if they want to get back into this one. Second set, even though they're up a set. It is 19-12 Orioles. Here comes Hadley Hart to serve. And that one just across the net, and that one will eat up Andy Peters. She hits that one off of the forearms, but then it comes and busts her in the chops. And Hadley Hart's second ace of the day, and that's the second for Pierre in this game, 4th overall. Another one played by Peters. Well, this time she gets it high up into the air. There is Jersey Hostetler out on the right side. She'll get one through the block and down, her first kill of the second game. Pierre settles for 2 on that service run, but now Lennox, with side out, hits the 20 mark here in the second. As Bittner checks out, Peters stays in and goes back to the service spot as libero. She'll get second touch here off for the Pierre return. Hostetler off the net and the swing to the Governor bench. Olsen takes out a teammate. Sierra Prunty with the catch, but Molly can't keep it alive. That'll be a kill. Second in a row for Jersey Hostetler from the right side. Right side hitters always get those good angles, especially the right-handers, it seems. Cross court is got to be their forte, but they can go down the line just as easily. 21-13 off of the point to the Orioles. Here's Novotny with a swing, but that'll be defended well by Lennox. Now a swing and a score for Libby Kranz. Whatever was ailing the Lennox Orioles in that first set, a lot of errors. That's basically what we're talking about. And they still had 5 early on in this second set. The second half of this game being played, they have really turned things around. They're in a good rhythm right now. They lead 22-13. They're looking for more as Pierre had to free ball the return of serve. But Lennox had to adjust and free ball it back. Novotny is blocked by Kranz. Novotny again? No, it's Allie Keys. But just a bump across. Here's Hostetler off the net, and up there goes Novotny for a block point. Ace block, and the Governors will get side out right back. Sometimes those can be real momentum swingers, but Pierre needs a lot of momentum to come their way if they want to stay back in this second set. Waldron serves. It's 14 serving 22. Make it 15. This is an ace. A bit of a misplay by Stuckey in the back row. And the ace for Sloan. That is her first of the day. Left to right across. Sloan working hard. That jersey's already come untucked. Here's a loose ball at the net. Slam it home. Allie Keys. Timeout to Lennox as Keys scores her first of the second game. 22-16. An emphatic 3 in a row, even though the Governors still trail by 6. But they'll try for more when we come back off of the Agtegra timeout. 30 seconds, and we'll be back with more Pierre Governor Volleyball.
Furnace until it's not working. But we do. At Pipe Service Experts, we are trained to see what others miss. Airflow restrictions, pressure imbalances, heat exchanger flaws. That's how we catch little issues before they become cold nights and costly repairs. Because keeping your home warm takes more than just a toolbox. Our certified technicians will get your system running at peak condition. Call Pint Service Experts for our special $99 precision tune-up today. Call 866-EXPERTS. See website for license details.
The Corner Station Convenience Store. Back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Fort Pierre. Leave sooner, drive slower, live longer.
Welcome back to Lennox. The Governor's trying to get on a roll here, scoring 3 in a row, but Lennox with that Agtegra timeout. Remember, farmers, acres ahead can maximize your farm's earning potential straight from the start with your Agtegra cooperative today. Work with them. As Waldron loses her footing, coming back, and a mishit here. Tough break for the Govs, as it'll be 23-16. The Final Four is set in girls soccer now. The Governors beat Watertown. They will play Harrisburg, who defeats Yankton 1-0 today. Rapid City Stevens and O'Gorman have won in the upper half of that bracket as well. They'll play each other on Tuesday out in Rapid City. Here's a swing for Addie Martz. That's a cross, but Bushbaum gets underneath it. Now Keys from the 10-foot line, and that one down with some good topspin. out of the reach of the diving Addie Stuckey, and Allie Keys up to 5 kills. O'Gorman over Roosevelt 3-0. Rapid City Stevens beat Aberdeen Central 2-0. Those are the girls' soccer scores today. We'll check the boys' bracket, although the Governor boys were beaten on Tuesday by Sioux Falls Christian in a 1-0 loss. There's Mart's left side. I think she swings better from the left side from what I've seen. This one, a hot shot. That's one thing about Lennox is their hard hitters have really gotten back into, I think, much more of a groove. And we're seeing some hot shots from the Oriole hitters. They're at set point, by the way. Second set, looking to tie this match up. 24-17 as Libby Kranz serves. Hart plays it up to Waldron, and then the hit good for Addie Novotny in the middle. A touch in the back row by the Orioles, but not enough to keep it alive. Novotny's second kill. Pierre will stay alive and try for more here. Back within 18, serving 24. Hart to Novotny checking out. Sierra Prunty will serve. Sophomore off the bench. A little bit of a lob, but it's played up on the near side by Riley Heaton. Another hot shot. Mart's right side blocked by the Governors. Now a nice reach to keep it alive. Good play for Pierre and a power tap kill for Lexi Schleckaway. That one hit by Kranz, or rather by Andy Peters. But there was nobody home for the second touch. Pierre fights to another one here. 19 serving 24. Prunty again, played by Peters. She'll get it to Adney, and another block touch by the Governors. Another touch by Peters, but it hits the pin, and that's an ace block for Marina Bushbaum. The Governors staying alive. They cracked 20, but they still have work to do. Second timeout called by the Orioles here. We'll take a quick 30, and Agtegra breaking the action. You're listening to Pierre Governor Volleyball.
Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pierre, South Dakota. At the quarter station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and snacks while filling your vehicle up with Cenex brand gasoline. The quarter station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your vehicle sparkling clean. At the crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pierre Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the quarter station and the crossing.
For over 70 years, Pitt's Design Build has earned our reputation locally for serving communities across South Dakota. We provide design and building services for schools, hospitals, churches, commercial offices, multifamily housing, and so much more. Pitt's Design Build is conveniently located in Pierre, Mitchell, and Sioux Falls to serve you and your organization. We bring value to our clients by facilitating the design and/or construction process. Give us a call today and check us out at pittsdesignbuild.com for a free building consultation.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
And Lennox, on a hitting error by the Governors, will win game number 2 on the Wagner Auto scoreboard. Lennox 25 and the Govs score 20. But Pierre won the first one 25-23. We're tied at a set apiece here. The scoreboard brought to you by Wagner Auto Company and Pierre, the one place to go. Now we pause for 2 minutes in between games, and we'll go to game number 3. Both teams with one on the board, so to speak. You're listening to Governor Volleyball, your official voice of the Govs, KGFX and DRGnews.com.
DRG Media Group Sports is the official voice of the Pierre Governors.
Our hash mark over the middle and wide open at the 30-yard line. Carter shuffle by and touchdown. Here's Olsen, plenty of time, 3 seconds, gets to shoot, and it's good for 3.
From football, volleyball, and soccer to basketball, wrestling, and softball, follow the Pierre Governors on the official voice of the Govs, River 92.7, and also on the River 92.7 page of the DRG News smartphone app and DRGnews.com.
Welcome to Bowie Foods at Al's Oasis Plaza. My great-grandfather, Gus Bowie, opened the first store in 1905. I'm R.F. Bowie, the president of Bowie Foods. We aren't your typical store. You'll find everything you need for your family. You'll save money, and I promise you're going to enjoy your grocery shopping experience. We carry a lot of locally produced products and some things you just aren't going to find anywhere else. South Dakota owned, family owned, Bowie Foods.
Briggs Trucking and Construction in Fort Pierre provides quality freight transportation services, cargo hauling, excavation, and demolition services. They also specialize in dirt and gravel work for everything from commercial work to new construction. Briggs Trucking and Construction will haul everything from light poles to farm and agricultural supplies. The bigger the job or the bigger the load, the better, as that is where their expertise really shines. Contact Briggs Trucking and Construction at 605-280-2848 or email them at cbriggs25@pi.midco.net to visit about your next project.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
3 to get back within 24-20, but a hitting miscue to close it out on a rally point for the Lennox Orioles, and they win that second one 25-20, out killing the Governors 14-8 in that second set. And Lennox's errors went down from 8 to 5. They're still serving well, but they served better in the second game because they only had one error, whereas they had 5 service errors in that first game. Governor errors climbed on the floor from 4 to 6, so they'll have to clean some things up. Governor Block has been playing well, though. Both teams blocking, in fact, quite well. 3 block points per team. We'll go to the third set. Opening serve by the Orioles, and Allie Keys is blocked, speaking of which. And there's Mallory Bittner in the area again. This one might have stayed on the tape, but we'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Block point for Bittner. And the Orioles score first here in the third set. Katie Sherrard, the 5'7" sophomore setter, first server. Keys will try another one. Blocked again, but this one kept in play. Olsen sets up to Waldron, passes to Waldron, then Waldron setting up for Alyssa Lowe, and the 6-foot junior scores for the Govs. And we're off to a 1-1 start in this one. A lot of lead changes in both of the first 2 sets, even though Lennox, who took the lead at from 9-10 to 16-10, that 7-point rally in that second game, a big turning point for the Orioles. Here's another block, very softly up front, but Keys will deny. Lennox had a soft touch from the 10-foot line, and Allie Keys is right there at the net to put it down front. 2-1 Governors with a service point. Hadley Hart ready to come with it again. Left to right, Hart is wearing the white jersey. Here's a loose ball at the net. Novotny finds the open spot. Return of serve. Suspect for the Orioles. It was hit right back into the wheelhouse of a middle hitter, and that was Addie Novotny. And here goes Hart again. Hot shot this time. Andy Peters sets it up into the air, but Kranz has to pass it up front. And a long hit from the right side, and Lennox with the error, their first of set 3. Riley Heaton tried to get one down to the back row, but just missed it a little bit long. 4-1 now. Hart has continued to serve well, but as we say that, I didn't jinx her because the serve was already long. Kayla Brozick will vouch for me on that, but she does serve a little bit long, so that'll run the bring an end to the run at 4. And it's 4-2 Governors. Here's Heaton to serve for the Orioles. This one shimmies over the net. Well played by Hadley Hart. Keys to the corner, left side, and it's good. Allie maneuvered over to the middle this time and collects kill number 6 to lead the Govs. To be quite honest, in the games that I've done, or the matches that I've seen this year, I did not do either of Pierre's victories. I'm sure they had their kill totals going up, but I think on an individual basis, 6 kills right now for Allie Keys might be a high for any Governor player in any match this season. Hart calls for one. Free ball from beyond the service line. Gets it across, but the Governors late in catching back up, and an easy tap kill for Mallory Bittner in the Lennox middle of their front line. Back within 2 come the Orioles. 3 serving 5. Andy Peters will do the honors, right to left, wearing black on black. Trimmed with pink, as Lennox digs pink today. And the Governors celebrated a little early, but they get the point anyway. Tap kill off the block. That's good for Novotny. Addie's presence is starting to become more and more prevalent in the middle for the Governors, and it's a service ace here for Keys, who runs one up the middle back. I think that one would have fallen fair, but a little indecision, and a late decision at that by Addie Stuckey, who got a hand on it anyway. 7-3, Governors lead, tying their biggest lead at any stretch today, when they also led 7-3 in the first set. Collision from the Orioles, and another one that goes up into the rafters. And Vanessa Gable, sensing trouble, needs to calm things down on the Lennox side. Serve return error for Lennox makes it 8-3 Pierre as we pause for 30 seconds. Another Agtegra timeout early on. Third set, both teams with a set under their belts. So far, we're back with more Pierre Governor Volleyball.
Your premier hometown shop specializing in tires to fit vehicles, from ATVs to large farm equipment and everything in between. At your tire store next door, you can find a plethora of brand name tires that range from 4 to 10 ply and much more. Our highly skilled technicians can handle brakes, heating, and air conditioning. Call us today at 224-8643 or visit us at GrahamTire.com. Graham Tire is a proud sponsor of Pierre and surrounding communities' local activities.
Buying or selling a home. Back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Cooperatives reminding farmers that acres ahead can maximize your farm's earning potential. Straight from the start, talk to Agtegra Cooperatives when you get the opportunity. I want to welcome anybody who's tuned over from watching or listening to Governor Playoff Soccer. A 6-2 victory for the Governor girls over Watertown, and the Governor volleyballers playing well here in Lennox today. They won the first set 25-23, did lose the second 20-25. We're in the third, and Allie Keys out of the timeout serves another ace, 2 in a row. Here leading this third set early on, 9-3. And here is a fortunate bounce for Libby Kranz, who will swing off the net. And that one spins forward into the Governor's side, and it falls on the sideline to our near side. Good call from the line judge, Libby Kranz, with her 6th kill of the day for the Lennox Orioles. That was 4 in a row for the Govs. Their biggest lead at any point of the afternoon was up at 6 at 9-3, and now there was some question about the substitution, but Allie Keys is out. Lola Keenholz is in. After Keys' run and serve comes to an end. Keenholz, the back row specialist. Here comes Kranz after a free ball return, and we'll have a catch off of the block by Novotny. A kill here for Libby Kranz as she'll register her 2nd straight. Very soft touch tap on that one, but it's 5 serving 9. Point nonetheless. Waldron out to Bushbaum, near side, and that one blocked back to the Governors by Sydney Johnson. Johnson, a 5'10 junior. Talked about the Governors needing a good block today. They've had it. There are a lot of hitters for Lennox who run 5'10 to 6 feet tall. Here's Novotny sending Lennox into scramble mode, but Bushbaum will get a block of a big swing. Another example of a good block for the Governors, denying Kranz. Marina Bushbaum's first. That's the 5th block from 5 different players for the Govs. But the point I was starting to make was the block has also been there for the Lennox Orioles. They've got 5 block points this afternoon as Sierra Prunty checks in to serve. That'll go quick as she'll serve it long. Novotny back in, and then she's replaced by libero Hadley Hart. Updating the score, the Governor lead is down to 10-7 now. Lennox trying to build some momentum back. Here's Schleckaway, return of serve. The set out to Alyssa Lowe, left side. The libero Andy Peters with a dig. Well, Waldron returns, gets a dig on the return back, but it is a block in the denial. I believe again by Sydney Johnson, as Lexi Schleckaway had taken the swing here. 17 Johnson with her 2nd ace block, 8-10. Lennox starting to get more comfortable again after helping the Governor cause to a 9-3 lead early on. Lowe taps one back. Here's Riley Heaton swinging back row, and that is on the line. Riley Heaton Just enough real estate covered on that one. Her 9th kill. She leads all scorers, and Lennox back within 1. 10-9 Governors. Set number 3. Both teams tied at a set apiece. Diving save on the serve by Schleckaway. Lowe has to stay on the floor, though, to clear it out. Here's Addie March down the right sideline. Nicely dug up by Hadley Hart. Schleckaway palms it back. Bump pass to Heaton. Governor block is there, but close to the net, and Schleckaway tried to get it across, but hits it into the net. That'll be a hitting error, but a job well done by both teams. But Lennox stayed aggressive. And they're back within 10-10. Keenels returns the serve bat. That's back across, but this time the middle hitter cannot keep it in play. Johnson hits it too strong, too long. And the Lennox run comes to an end at 10-10, but the Governors get the point and they lead 11-10 now. Bushbaum out, it's Molly Olson in to serve, but this one stays in the net. It hit the top. And the Governors' serve starting to dwindle a bit, as this is already their 3rd service miss. In game number 3, 11-11. Back to serve for Lennox. Pierre will clear it back. Half-hearted swing by Schleckaway. Here comes Heaton. Did that clear the net? Well, they're playing it on. No, there's the whistle, and that is a 4-hit violation. So the officials will not blow the whistle right away if it doesn't clear or if it's not touched, in this case by Pierre. They wait for the 4th touch. As Pierre is back in front, 12-11. Serve, Adney sets up Bittner, and Pierre can't get it across in 3 touches, but really no opportunity. That'll be a kill for Mallory Bittner. And now 12 serving 12 as we trade side outs. We've had a lot of lead changes in all 3 of our sets so far. But after Lennox tied it at 10, we've been tied at 11, now tied at 12. Trading side outs along the way. Katie Sherrard back into serve. Here's Sloan Waldron taking a swing. Didn't get much on it. Kranz digs it up. This is Jersey Hostetler pushing it back. Hart to Olson. Big swing. Keys is good. Allie on the outside might have been long, but as she hit it right at the middle back, Livy Kranz. Allie Keys scores her 7th of the afternoon. 13-12, side out, right back to Pierre. A lot of one and dones. See if Hart can break that trend. Peters digs it up into the air, bumps it up into the air. There's a punch dig by Molly Olson. Saving face on that one. Run out of there by Keys. Now, not much on it, but a dive for Hart. Pushed away by Olson, but that one's wide right on the near side, out of bounds. Sometimes those setters love to do that, but sometimes they go to the well one too many times, and maybe the Governors had more of an opportunity to get something more offensive set up. As Waldron gets the return here. Quick set, Keys punches it across, but Sherrard is there. Now it is Hostetler. Here continues to dig, though. Really playing well defensively today. Cross court, no good. On the shot by Kranz, 5th hitting error for Lennox. And another side out goes back the other way. This will be Pierre's serve, 14 serving 13. Tied at 10, 11, 12, and 13. And it is Heaton checking out. Addie Stuckey back in the back row for the Lennox Orioles. Right to left to right, rather. Waldron across. Kranz played it up. Oh my goodness. She got it right back and then goes right back at the server, Sloan Waldron. And that one hit Sloan in the upper chest, right under the chin. 14-14. Libby Kranz can hit hard. We've got some hard hitters in this match. Peters serves. On the run, pushing it back is Bushbaum. High set coming here and an opportunity to score it for Libby Kranz. Well, the run of side outs has come to an end, 15-14, and the Governors decide it's a good time for a timeout, as they'll take one here. Sponsored by AgTegra, where acres ahead can maximize your farm's earning potential straight from the start. Contact your AgTegra cooperative today. 15-14 Lennox. We're in the 3rd, match tied at a set apiece. You're listening to Pierre Governor Volleyball on KGFX.
Big decision. You need an expert who knows the market and gets results. Scott Darnall at Lee Real Estate in Pierre brings experience, local knowledge, and a no-nonsense approach to help you navigate every step. Whether you're looking for the perfect home or the best offer, Scott is committed to making the process smooth and stress-free. Ready to make your next move? Call Scott Darnall at 605-220-2676. Lee Real Estate, Meredith Lee, broker-owner.
Lucky for us, life is
Welcome
full.
back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
The Lennox Orioles get a good Double-A opponent, as it turns out. Of course, the Pierre Governor's getting a good opponent with a stellar win percentage. We're in the third. A lot of back and forth action in this one, but 15-14 Orioles out of the timeout, however. Governors get the bump set spike, and they get it to Addie Novotny, who slams one home from the middle. And we're tied at 15-15. Served away by Keys. Hostetler swings down the right sideline. Hadley Hart playing it back. Novotny clears with two hands. Here's Peters leaving it with Kranz. Schleckaway is there. Then Bushbaum with a big swing, but too much on this one. Hitting error for the Govs, their third in the set, 16-15. And again, the middle stages of this set, we did have one swing of 2 points scored by the Orioles. They took that 15-14 lead, but the Governors have been trading back and forth from 11-10, 12-11, 13-12, and etc. Here with another return of serve. Here's Novotny. Again, this time Addie Stuckey gets to it, though. Digs it up into the air. Down the line goes Kranz. Waldron clears, keeps it off the floor. Here's Schleckaway. Little free ball back. Peters will go to Kranz again. And a good block by Novotny. Governors continue to block well. Kranz will try again, though. And go down the line, this time to the back left corner, near side. And Libby Kranz has become the stopper for the Lennox Orioles. It was Riley Heaton in the second set. Now Kranz, as the O's build a 17-15 advantage here in the third. Bushbaum, nothing on that one. This is Addie Mart's right side, and that one might have used the net, but it's down. On the sideline, Addison Martz, kill number 5. Governors taking their time in the huddle here as they come together. They've done a lot of things well today. Just, again, it's been the struggle of the season, obviously, but down goes Schleckaway across the way, and Lexi Schleckaway, who was kind of doing the talking. A little senior leadership in that huddle after that last point. And she's got the good vision to get side out here. You're trailing 18-16. Here comes Sierra Prunty in for Addie Novotny. From the middle back to the middle back. Peters sends it wayward. Chaos, but free ball on the return. High up in the air it goes from Keenholz to Waldron. Fear not in system, though. They'll send it back. Here's the swat, and that's a 4-hit violation. On the far side, Libby Kranz did not clear the net this time. Point Governors, and it's 17-18. It's really the kind of volleyball we've been waiting all season long for with the Govs. And an ace here for Prunty. Nicely done. Stuckey dives for it, but can't get it up in the air. Sierra Prunty with the single. Third of the set for the Govs. Allie Keys had a couple before. 8 aces on the day for Pierre. 3 in a row, and we're tied at 18. Prunty wants more, and we'll get another one. Kranz and Peters miscommunicate in the back row. I got it, you take it. Well, the Governors will take it. Take the lead back as well, 19-18, third set. Govs won the first one by 2. Lennox with a 5-point victory, set number 2. Prunty back up the middle again. And the Governors have to block, and it's going to be another lift here for Lowe. The block was there, but the keep alive usually ends up with an open hand, and that's, by definition, an illegal hit. That'll be a kill, actually, for somebody up there, whether it was Kranz or Might have been Addie Martz. I'm going to go with Addie Martz on that one. 19-19, our score. And the Governors will come right back and score themselves with Lowe. Alyssa playing well. She has 6 kills. Pierre 20-19 in front. See if they can get another rally. They had 3 in a row, 4 in a row, in fact, a moment ago. Now Molly Olson serving. Lennox will get a good play up here. Olson again, punch dig, saving face. Staring down the bullet from Riley Heaton. Heaton bumps one right back, and Lowe totally mishits it, but it does go across, and it's down in front. And that Lennox front line. Governors fortunate, but Lennox didn't make their own break either on that play, so somebody had to win the point. 21-19 Pierre. Here's Martz down the line. Hadley Hart stares another one down, puts it up into the air. To the back corner this time. Sloan Waldron a little too long. No touch up front by the Orioles. That's error number 4 on the floor. Pierre up 21-20 still. Winner of this game gets a 2-1 lead. Waldron plays this one up to Olson. Back set our way to Schleckaway. And Kranz up in the air, but nobody able to run it down. Schleckaway didn't expect a kill on that one, but she'll get it. Pierre up 22-20. Now you start using the F word, and that is finish in volleyball. Didn't want to send you the wrong way there. But here is Bittner. Mallory with her 3rd kill in the set. Substitutions coming for Lennox again as we go back and forth. Who's going to finish this 3rd set? Addie Martz and Sydney Johnson are out. Here comes Katie Sherrard to set. Jersey Hostetler is back in up front as well. Sherrard played up by Hadley Hart. Here's Keys with a hot shot. Big! Allie Keys. There's no question who the hardest hitter on this Governor squad is. Allie Keys has proven it, but we just haven't seen it maybe enough. Certainly not over the course of the season. Timeout Orioles. 23-21. The Governors up 2 with 2 to go. We'll try to be back to finish off this 3rd set after a 30-second Agtegra timeout. This is Pierre Governor Volleyball.
Big and small, they define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
Dakota Pro Air is a locally family-owned business that has been taking care of farmers' aerial needs since 2020. With locations in Letcher and Miller, Dakota Pro Air is able to provide service to a large area. Ground conditions too wet, or just don't want those sprayer tracks in your field? Give Dakota Pro Air a call for all your chemical and fertilizer application needs at 605-248-2314.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Line played by Sherrard. Free ball back. Here's Schleckaway. Up to Olson. Keeps it away from the net to the back left corner. No. A little bit wide by Novotny. Governors with their 5th error. Well, they really could have used that one to get the side to a set point, but it's 23-22 instead. Heaton will rotate to serve for the Orioles. Hart with a return. Molly Olson runs it down and leaves it for Keys in the middle of the front line. That's a tap back. Here comes Hostetler. Olson there to dig, and the touch is over by Waldron on the 2nd. Tap kill by Sloan Waldron. Now the Governors at set point in the 3rd. 24-22. Stuckey out. Stuckey in for Heaton. Back row specialist, Sloan Waldron, a good server, will serve for the game. From the near side, and that one shimmies across. Peters able to make a touch on it. Pushed up ahead. The Governors get a block. And 1, 2, 3. Not enough. The Pierre Governors win set number 3 on the kill for Marina Bushbaum. And how about that? The Governors 25, Lennox 22. On the Wagner Auto scoreboard, brought to you by Wagner Auto Company in Pierre, the one place to go. 2 down, 1 to go for the Govs. We're at halftime. Halftime in KGFX broadcast, brought to you by CHS River Plains, serving cities throughout central South Dakota. We'll hear from them. We're back in 2 minutes. The Governors go to game number 4 with the Lennox Orioles. Saturday afternoon volleyball on your official voice of the Governors, KGFX and DRGnews.com.
Pierre provides complete plumbing and drain cleaning services to commercial and residential customers. Olson Plumbing understands how the simple things in life are often the things we can't live without, and running water is the top of the list. Olson Plumbing offers 24/7 emergency services, and they can be at your location in under an hour in most cases. If you need help with your plumbing system, call Olson Plumbing 605-224-6436.
Check out Iverson Auto in Mitchell or Huron for great deals and top-notch service. Iverson Auto has it all, from the knowledgeable sales and finance teams to the experienced parts and service teams, plus the best detail shop in the region. Iverson Auto, 77 plus years in our community, locally owned and operated. We have always been here and always will be. Stop in for your next new or used ride, or use one of our professional services at Iverson Auto in Mitchell and Huron, or browse our inventory online anytime at iversonauto.com.
At Jan Bussey Ford in Highmore, they've been building partnerships for life by treating customers right, offering a low-pressure sales process, no haggling over price, passing low overhead savings on, and providing a Ford-certified service department fixing it right the very first time. If you're looking for a new Ford, a quality pre-owned vehicle, a new or used ATV, or a trailer, stop by Jan Bussey Ford in Highmore and experience the difference.
Jan Bussey Ford, building partnerships for life.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Not sure how this match got set up, but Pierre and Lennox ended up on each other's schedules this season. Perhaps a home and home. I imagine we'll have the Orioles at Riggs High Gym this time next season. It's been a good one. These two teams have matched up very well. Pierre wins the first and the third. Lennox got the second one, and overall, both teams have scored a total of, well, the same number of points. Pierre has won 2 sets by a total of 5 points. Lennox won their 1 set by 5. We start game number 4. Halftime again, sponsored by CHS River Plains in central South Dakota. Nice dig by Allie Keys a moment ago. Good block by Lennox. Now Keys will try to shove one across. Again, another block by Bittner back to the Governors. And they'll get another opportunity. Alyssa Lowe to the back right corner from the middle. That's our near right side. And the Governors get a good start to game number 4 rather. Lowe with 8 kills, and again, the kill numbers for the Governors are starting to climb to numbers that they haven't seen this season. This Lennox team is no slouch. They come in 19-1. Here's a set kill for Molly Olson. Second one is across. Unfortunately, if anything for Lennox right now, and I say this, as I root for them a little bit, because I'd like to see some new teams coming up in those Class A ranks, and they're looking up at still all of the greats. Here's another miss by the Orioles, but Lennox has to be careful they don't start doubting themselves a little bit. They probably thought, they know that the Govs are struggling this season, but obviously you are playing up a level, a double-A opponent if you're the Orioles. Orioles had 19 wins in a row before losing to Del Rapids a week ago. Keys takes a swing on the far side, but that'll hit the pin, so the Governors score the first 3 of game number 4. And Lennox will serve for the first time coming up. Riley Heaton, 5'11", junior. Right to left. Coming across. Played by Schleckaway. The Governor passing on serve return has been pretty good. How about that dig by Andy Peters and another hot shot by Allie Keys. The Govs will try again. Two-hander this time. It's good for Alyssa Lowe. The 6-footer for the Governors. Off the block and down. There's a lot of block touches on both sides of the net today, but who can keep them alive more consistently? That's the question. So far, that might be Pierre. Hard one-hander down the near sideline. Olsen was able to play it up, and the Governors get it back to Addison Novotny. She swings and scores. Here scores another. They've got 5 of the first 6. Here in game number 4. And again, the Govs are up 2-1. They're playing for the match here. Lennox will try to force a 5th and deciding set. Bittner takes the swing, but there's Hadley Hart. She's been there all day long. Sloan Waldron, no good this time. Orioles up. Sherrard feeding out near side to Libby Kranz, who had a big set in the 3rd, and she's going to need some more to keep Lennox alive here in the 4th. Libby with 11 kills to lead Lennox now. This is Andy Peters, the libero back, but she comes up light on the serve and it stays in the net. Lennox had 5 service errors in the first set, only 1 in the second, and actually 0 in the third. So they've gotten better, but that'll be their first of this game. And it's a chance for Waldron to be next, and this is a misplay in the back line. We see Peyton Wright, the 5'7" junior. She might have been in there a few times, but that's actually the first time I've called her name today. 7-2 on the Waldron ace. And a timeout taken early here in the 4th by Vanessa Gable and the Lennox Orioles. Timeout from Agtegra, 30 seconds, and we're back with more Pierre Governor Volleyball.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Number 4 with the Governors.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Straight from the start. And you contact your local Agtegra cooperative at your next available opportunity. Ryan Oakland on the call, Caleb Brozick on camera. Watch the rest of this one if you haven't been. DRGnews.com, your DRG News smartphone app, on the KGFX page. Governor Girls Sports already with a good day. The Governor's soccer team moving on in the into the semifinals with a win over Watertown on River 92.7 earlier. Pierre continues to play well here. We've got a Governor net violation, but on a swing by Libby Kranz that would have been a kill anyway, so we'll give it to her. Coming out of the timeout, a good point there for Lennox, as they'll pull back within 7-3. And they'll bring in Hannah Adney, second setter to serve. Bushbaum takes a swing on the far side. Lennox plays it back up. There's Kranz again, cross quarter. And for the first time all day, it seems, Hadley Hart to the Governors in the libero spot was just kind of stuck in the mud, unable to make a move on that one. 7-4 now. Lennox with 2 in a row, but both by Kranz, who has 3 of the 4 points in this early 4th set. Now Schleckaway plays up the next Adney serve. Here is Keys, block touch, but it's down in fair play anyway. Allie Keys' first kill of the game. She has 9 overall, and it's 8-4. Governor's playing with an excitement and an energy that we just haven't seen in a long, long time. Keys will serve. Left to right, knuckle this one across and out of the reach of Andy Peters. And we're going to have a substitution. Addie Stuckey She's been playing back row all day long. Peyton Wright was given an opportunity, but Vanessa Gable needs the people she's used to having out there now. 9-4, another one coming across from Keys. Here's one from the middle, and Sydney Johnson gets the angle on the near sideline. Sydney Johnson's been quiet scoring offensively. She's made a couple of block points, though. It has been a pretty good presence for the Orioles today. Just her second kill of the afternoon. 5 serving 9. Here's Hart. Back row, kept alive by Lola Keenholz, who checked in for Allie Keys after Keys' service run came to an end. Riley Heaton across, left-hander good, a keep alive in reflex for Myrna Bushbaum. That's what they call her, Marina. Just a little hook shot, and first touch by Lennox kind of took it out of play. Bushbaum's 4th kill, 10-5. Governors hold Lennox to a 1-and-done. Now Prunty back in, serve, returned right back. Lowe tries to put it away. Might have mistimed her jump, but this is called a lift, and it is a kill for Alyssa Lowe. It seems quite loud in here, and acoustically, well, I don't know. The acoustics in here are conducive to loud crowds. Oddly enough, the color scheme and the metal up above in the rafters reminds me a lot of Mobridge High School's gym, but here we are in Lennox, back and forth, and another miss hit, this time by Addie Martz. Second hitting error for the Orioles. The Governor lead is up to 12-5. As I was talking about, the Orioles may be starting to doubt themselves. Frustration is kind of setting in now, as here's another ace for Sierra Prunty. My goodness, everything falling in the way of the Governors. And Coach Gable already needs her second and final timeout of game number 4. 13-5, Pierre in front. Another Agtegra timeout, 30 seconds away. And we'll be back and the Governors finish game 4 and get a rare victory here. We'll find out when we return with more Pierre Governor Volleyball.
Generational success means different things to different people. But to us, it means seeing my daughter follow in my footsteps, keeping the farm in the family, just getting to do this every day. We're Agtegra Cooperative, and we're generationally successful. That's who we are. Agtegra Cooperative.
Hey, Josie, why so glum,
Welcome
chum?
back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
And Lennox, the point I started to make earlier, just the frustration seems to be setting in on the faces and the mannerisms of the Lennox Orioles. But they'll come back off of the timeout. They get a good bump set spike back to the middle, and Sydney Johnson, a point that the Orioles definitely needed. As a Pierre fan, I was wondering if I actually said something a little too early going to that break, but see if they can finish. But they still have a ways to go. They're only halfway home here in the 4th. It's Lennox's serve. Still trailing by 7, though. Bushbaum with a power tap across. Oh, and Jill Christensen's going to call this. Well, they say Pierre point, but it is a Lennox point, and the Governors don't really know why. Christensen on the ladder hasn't called it, but I'm sure she's calling a catch and throw. That's the second time a call like that has been made. Jill Christensen has forgotten more about volleyball than anybody in this state will ever remember. And here's a block point to the Orioles. Heaton and Bittner are there. I believe it's Riley Heaton who gets the ace block. That one landed on the Governor's sideline, just down in front of us. 8 serving 13. That's 3 in a row now for Lennox. But they'll send it back as Johnson hits the home run. 14-8 to update. And as mentioned, I mentioned this earlier, but our R1 official, Jill Christensen, a 35 or more year head coach of the Parker Pheasant program, all-time winningest head coach in South Dakota high school volleyball history at 837. Mallory Bittner swinging and scoring. 14-9. For perspective, there are two coaches who have over 700, as I put my stats in, over 700 total victories. Nellie Long of Pine Ridge, but also a good friend of mine, Linda DeBoer, coaching the Miller Rustlers. She's over 700 and showing no signs of stopping. Governors are trying to keep going themselves as Alyssa Lowe will get a kill. Andy Peters had the dig, but they couldn't get a second touch on it. Lowe with 4 kills in this fourth set. It's 15-9 Govs. Side out right back. Bittner is blocked this time by Lowe. High set coming up, touch across, two-hand, but bumped right back by the Govs. Here's Sherrard for Bittner. Reflex again for the Governors. Waldner got it out of there. Here's Heaton from the 10-foot line. Pierre gets a block touch again. Olsen will try to Keys. She'll pull the string. Lennox with another opportunity. Look out, that back row attack was a hammer earlier today, but this time it is hit way up and long by Libby Kranz. Great volley for both teams, even though there wasn't a lot of solid attacking going on. 16-9, Schleckaway serving. The Governors lead by 7 again, and the set pass by Sherrard, too tall for Bittner. Bittner a little too close, perhaps, to the setter. Error number 4 for Lennox, 17-9. Governors up 2-1. They lead by 8 here in the fourth, and a misplay on the return of serve by Jersey Hostetler, and Lexi Schleckaway will get ace number 3. 18-9. Governors doubling up the Lennox Orioles. Schleckaway this time will be a little bit long. That one upward first, and that usually ends in a sail long. 6 service errors. That's all the Governors have had in 4 sets today. 10 serving 18. Eden, who started in serve in this game, back around now. Schleckaway ranges to her right. They get it to Lowe. That's off the hands of Heaton in the back row. I think there was a block touch anyway. Alyssa Lowe, a hot hitter. 5 kills in the fourth set alone. I've got her with a dozen overall. The Governors lead 19-10. T-6 and counting. Hadley Hart to serve. Left-hander with some spin on it, played by Kranz, and she'll get it back from Katie Sherrard. Libby Kranz. This young lady is every bit as good as advertised, and she still might not be very well known out of the metro area down here near Sioux Falls. She's got 4 kills in this set, 14 on the afternoon. They didn't put the point up for the Orioles, though. It should be 19-11. That's what you got, Caleb, right? The Orioles on the attack, and this one misplayed, or not, actually unplayable by Hart. That's Kranz again. 19-12 it should be once again, and the scoreboard does say 19-11. Andy Peters, the libero, serves away. Hart with a good play this time, up to Molly Olsen. Swing from the right side, no good for Waldron as Addie Stuckey gets the dig, but a free ball pushed back. Olsen will go far side again, or this time with Keys, but she can only palm it away. Now it is Hostetler, dug up by Olsen. Novotny tapped it back. Governor's not in enough system to get good attacks, and Lennox takes advantage as they get it to Kranz on the near side again. Now the Governors will take a timeout. 3, maybe 4 good points. And again, we've got it at 19-14. Lennox 19-13. It's 19-13. Okay, well, anyway, we'll sort it out when we come back. This is a Agtegra timeout for the Pierre Governors. Agtegra cooperatives are in cities throughout central South Dakota. This is Pierre Governor Volleyball.
Can't find a way to get my whole group to one spot without taking all these cars. You haven't heard of Denwall Transportation? They have luxury seating buses with air conditioning, outlets to charge your phone, and other must-haves for traveling. Whoa, no way! Yeah, you should check them out. Where can I find them? You can follow them on Facebook or denwalltransportation.com, or hey, let's give them a call at 605-532-3836. Denwall Transportation, let us do the driving.
Now Now's your chance for a
Welcome
great
back,
deal.
welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Tells me they did get the right point up there, so the scoreboard has caught up to where we are now. 13 serving 19 out of the Integra timeout, but a return of serve by Schleckaway is back to the net, and an easy put away. I think Kranz gets another one here. That's Libby with 7 kills in this set out of 14 points for Lennox in the 4th game alone. Pierre's got to be careful they don't get tentative now. It's time to finish. They lead by 5. Novotny was denied. Here's Kranz on a long run. But the Governors defend. Keys with the smash. Back to the net. Keys again. Back to the net. Keys again. But still pushed back by the Orioles. Now the Govs in system. This is Novotny. Stuckey with a set dig. Back up to Kranz. Here's Hart off the floor. Nothing there. Keys will try again. Down the line. It's good. What a point for the Pierre Governors. Lennox is starting to fight back in this set. They've been very frustrated early on. They played extremely well on that point, but Allie Keys kept coming with the heat. And she finally gets one down in the middle back. Lennox out of timeouts. They used their last one when it was 13-5. Right now it's 20-14. Waldron will miss the serve low and into the net. So, still a 5-point game, and this 5-point lead is not enough. If you ask me, for Governor fans, they've got to get a side out back here quickly. Serve back toward the net. They'll free ball it out from Novotny. Adney setting out to the near side, and now it's still Libby Kranz up there. She's off the block and down in front of Hadley Hart. 20-16, another good conference among the Governor players. Saw that in the last set, and they came back and were a little more focused. Here comes Bushbaum, not a big swing. Stuckey up to the setter, Adney, hot shot down the line. Oh, if you're the Governors, you have got to get Libby Kranz out of the front line of the Lennox Orioles. 17-20, 9 kills to the 5'10 sophomore. Serve here, close to the net. Oh, good keep alive by Waldron. Hart will push it out of there. Stuckey with an overhanded attempt to try to keep it alive. And it was Waldron who gets the kill here. A fortunate one at that. 21-17. Lennox still has Kranz up front, but when they rotate next, she will be out. She'll take a swing here. The Governors get a good block touch on it. Staying alive, Bushbaum with a bump and miscommunication between Waldron and Novotny. Probably should be Waldron to take charge there, but here comes Keys out. Lola Kano's into the back line. Side out. It was Keys' serve there. And it is Kranz in the back line to serve for the Orioles now. Right to left. Let it sail. It's out of bounds. 22-18. And the timing might be just right for the Governors, the way Libby Kranz is playing in this 4th set. Pierre up 2-1. They're trying to finish. They've got 3 points to go here. Sierra Prunty into serve, played by Heeden. Bump pass up by Adney. This is Addie March to swing. Waldron is there. Now Bushbaum to send it out to Schleckaway. 2-hand push. Pushed back by the Orioles, but it's out of bounds. And Schleckaway gets the point here. 23-18. Governors with 2 to go. Prunty's had one good service run today, looking to close this match out with another one. Heeden up from the 10-foot line, not much on that. Schleckaway to Waldron. Lowe has to stay on the floor, clears it away. Heeden will try again, big swing. Block up by Bushbaum, run down by Kranz. Back to the Governors. Bushbaum again, swings and scores. Bushbaum hit the previous attack so hard. Kranz had it, and Kranz got caught on her heels this time when Bushbaum had a little half hit. Myrna with the kill. The Governors are at match point as they try to break a long losing streak, I think of 8 matches. 24-18, some points to play with. Martz will swing and score off of the Schleckaway block. Patty Martz keeps Lennox alive. 19 serving 24 coming up. 3 on that rally by the Governors. This will be Sydney Johnson to serve. Set, making match point number 2. And a service error in the net. And the Pierre Governors have cracked one into the win column at long last. The long losing streak comes to an end with that service error by the Orioles. Your final score in Game 4, it's Lennox 25 and the Pierre Governors 19. 4-game victory for the Govs, 25-23, 20-25, 25-22, and 25-19. Governors improved to 3-10 on the season, obviously a Double-A schedule. Lennox, a Class A schedule, but they suffer their second straight defeat. And they'll fall to 19-2 on the season. Great match, a great win for the Governors. And that's your final score on the Wagner Auto scoreboard, sponsored by Wagner Auto Company in Pierre, South Dakota's oldest auto dealer. Family owned for 117 plus years. They are the one place to go. Govs win on KGFX, and they won on River 92.7 today as well. Good things to talk about after a 3-minute timeout. We'll come back and get into our Family Dental postgame. Family Dental with offices in Pierre and Gettysburg. Conversation with the head coach, maybe even a player off of a victory. And we'll have a Bauman Lumber Player of the Game to award later on as well. All in our Family Dental postgame. You're listening to Pierre Governor Volleyball and your official voice of the Govs, River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
Dr. Ryan and his team at Family Dental in Pierre and Gettysburg would like to thank their wonderful patients for allowing us to treat their whole family, from infants to elders and everyone in between, including routine dental care, same-day crowns and bridges, implants, and many more procedures. We are excited that soon we'll be able to offer IV sedation. We are excited for what the future will bring. Call 224-7774 to schedule an appointment today. Again, thank you to all our wonderful patients.
There's an app for everything, including high school sports, from the stations of DRG Media Group. Download the DRG News app from the App Store or Google Play. It takes only a moment, so you'll have it to replay this game. See live and archive video of all games, and when you select your favorite station during the live stream, the video will immediately pop up. See Central South Dakota High School sports on your phone or mobile device with the DRG News app. Download it now from the App Store or Google Play.
Do you love watching high school sports but find yourself wanting to be more involved? LiveTicket.tv has the solution for you. They're looking for production managers to assist for this school year. Duties include the management of equipment as well as basic technological understanding. But don't stress, paid training will be provided. Part-time wages starting at $20 per hour. Call 833-605-LIVE, extension 2. That's 833-605-5483, extension 2. And punch your ticket to joining one of the fastest growing companies in South Dakota.
Fall sports are here, and Beck Motor Company is proud to cheer on our local athletes. Just like teamwork on the field or court, you can count on teamwork at our dealership. Whether you're driving a new Chevy Equinox, a tough Chevy Silverado, or keeping your current ride in top shape with our service department, Beck Motor Company is here for all your automotive needs. Good luck to all our hometown teams this season. From your friends at Beck Motor Company, we're making a great deal better. www.beckmotors.com, 605-224-5912.
We're passionate about getting yearly mammograms because 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. You can get a yearly mammogram to detect it early. Would it help if I requested nicely? Please, could you be so kind as to get a mammo? Or singing it. Get your mammogram starting at 40. Or with a British accent. Schedule your mammo with an Avera Breast Center at avera.org/breast or call 888-422-1410.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest Associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose BankWest. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Driven by the Office of Highway Safety. 1060 KTFX Pierre. Rebroadcasting on K276GT. 103.1 FM Fort Pierre. Leave sooner, drive slower, live longer.
Welcome back to Lennox High School, where the Pierre Governors have come in here. Yes, it's a Class A opponent, but man, they are a great team in the Lennox Orioles. 19 straight wins before falling to the state champion Del Rapids Warriors 9 days ago. The Pierre Governors come in here, and again, however this match got set up, it turned out to be a good thing. The Governors probably played their best match of the season, and they defeat the Lennox Orioles in 4 straight, 25-23, 20-25, 25-22, and 25-19. Brian Oakland with the play-by-play, and we are joined by a player, as we expected here in our Family Dental postgame, by Lexi Schleckaway to start things off. Lex, all I got to ask is, how fun was this?
That was so fun. I think coming up to it, we wanted it really bad.
Yeah. And, you come into this opponent that you don't know anything about. I talked to Coach before this game, and when you don't know an opponent, basically you just come in here and just start guns a-blazing. Is that what the game plan was? Talk about the conversations you guys had before the game.
I think we practiced hard this week, and after Huron, we wanted to do something, and we wanted to show what we can do. So at practice, we worked really hard, which proved it on the court.
Because Huron wasn't, I think you guys felt a little down after that. When you thought you should have performed a little bit better, I could see that from up above as well. But all in all, I mean, just from the get-go, you played neck and neck with this team. And what were the conversations? Because there was a couple of times you got together, and I could see you talking amongst your players where you had longer conversations after some points. What were you saying and things like that?
When we go in, we talk about things that we need to do and things that we should try to do specifically, and we go for it, and most of the time it works. We just need a reset sometimes, and that's what we talk about.
Absolutely, and I mean, this is certainly a game of momentum, and momentum swings so quickly, and they get a couple of good runs, and I guess it's just one of those circumstances where you've got to stay mental. You've got to keep the focus, and that's the biggest key. Now, I didn't see the 2 wins that you've had so far. Let's compare the 3 matches that you've won so far this season. Where does this one compare, or what are the differences in this one?
Yeah, I think this is a top. I think everyone really came out, and there wasn't a single person that didn't want it. And I think the other games, we just wanted it too, but I think this one really set it up.
Because everybody is contributing in this one, aren't they? I mean, the front, the back row. I mean, the back row played great. The front row was getting there. I mean, I've got you at offensive numbers that I haven't seen so far this year. So, again, let me ask more about conversations of people on the bench, and what were the coaches telling you as the things were materializing here?
Yes, we couldn't do it without our bench. Our bench is the people that are there to cheer for us, the other teams, the lower teams, everyone. And our coaches really just tell us it's all us. We have to go out there, and we have to want it to want it.
They do kind of make you responsible for cleaning up your own messes sometimes, don't they? So, I mean, a great bit of momentum for you kind of moving forward. Obviously, we're kind of joking up here saying, bring on the Harrisburg Tigers, but you got to be careful what you wish for. Tuesday night, though, I mean, why not? And I know there's a rallying cry of why not us, but let's see if you can continue to play this well. What do you think about that match coming up?
We're excited to play it, honestly. We are trying to be positive about the games, the harder teams, and we want to play up to them. And so we are waiting for it, and we want to play up.
And if you keep playing like this, you might be a dangerous team before you know it, right? Lex, great job, and high fives all around to everybody on that team, all right?
Thank you.
That's Lexi Schleckaway, part of our conversation piece here in this Family Dental post game. She'll hand over the headset to Carrie Wheelhouse, head coach. I just muted everybody. Now we want to talk. Carrie Wheelhouse, a lot of fun in this one. Players are having fun. How about you coaches?
Finally getting to see all of that stuff finally translate onto the court. I mean, we worked really hard. We had some girls that were having a rough week after the Huron game, and seeing them come back out and reset themselves. You don't want to get too excited too early on, but I knew pretty early in that first game that things were going to start rolling our way.
One of the key things we talked about before this match and keys to success is not knowing your opponent so much. How do you adjust as you go along? And you kind of thwarted a lot of long rallies. They had 1 or 2 of them, but what were the adjustments that you really had to make along the way on the fly today?
Yeah, on the fly today, things that we needed to make was just making sure that we were picking up all their tips. We saw them that they, couldn't hit around our block as well. So then we had to, adjust because they started tipping and pushing and running some different stuff. So, telling our pins to really lock in because they're pretty pin heavy. And so our pin hitters were just locked in on them. Then once they started moving to the middle, I was letting my middle go up one-on-one with them, just kind of lock in on them, and then be able to play that defense in the back row. So watching some of that stuff, seeing the girls start to read that stuff, and, a lot of the timeouts that we took, the girls led the conversation, that's exactly what you want to see as a coach, is them starting to read the game. And I think that's what we've really been working on in practice, and you're finally starting to see it.
Starting to click. That's what it is right there. Tuesday night, Huron had a great block against Allie Keys early on. You had to make some adjustments with that. At the first, there's 22 out here for Lennox. Mallory Bittner, she was a big blocker up there, and both teams blocked really well today, not only with getting the ace blocks back on the other side, but both teams were able to cover them up. Both teams behind the block. It's just a really well played match, I thought.
Yeah, and one of the things that we've really emphasized with our girls this year is don't be afraid of that block. If they've got a big block, use it. Half the time when we were seeing if they were blocking us, tool the block. Use that block to get a point, rebound off of it, go high hands against them. And so the girls are finally figuring out what that means and finally running it. Even Addie Novotny came off and she's like, hey, they're blocking me. Should I go high hands? I'm like, yep, absolutely. And she then started going high, and when they missed it, it was hitting that end line. And so seeing them start to get that volleyball IQ up and use some of the stuff that we've been talking about so heavily, and seeing, today, our bench was very loud and vocal and talking about where they needed to place it, and then seeing also our cheering section get into the game as well, that really fires us up. And knowing that our benches, we've preached it to them, our bench is just as important as the girls that are on the court, because in practice, if we didn't have those girls on the bench that are going to challenge our girls, we wouldn't have the team we have.
There are a lot of stats that are going to be similar, very even on my stat sheet. The one thing that I just can't keep enough track of because it's too quick of a game is the digging. And I think the one advantage that you really had over Lennox today was you dug a little bit better today.
Yeah, and our passes. I mean, we didn't pass near as good, and we talked about that. We didn't pass really well against Huron on their serve receive, and I can't wait to go back and get the stat book back and look at it, because I think we maybe have hit our goal of what our pass receive rating is going to be, and so we've worked really hard at that, and that's one to really celebrate with our girls.
I couldn't agree more, and as much as I want to keep talking about this one, we know you've got to get going. We've all got to kind of keep moving, so we look ahead to the next match, and it is Goliath. That's another name for the Harrisburg Tigers. I mean, they are all world, and I'm just going to sing praises about them all the time because we've seen them so much. But as you prepare for your next match, tell us about it.
Yeah, I keep telling the girls 2 years ago, we took them to 5 sets in Pierre and almost beat them.
Oh, yeah.
And so that is one thing that we need to really focus on is they're going to underestimate us, that we're coming in, with only the 3 wins, and we know that they're going to come in thinking it's going to be an easy game. They're not used to traveling that far, too, minus when they went out to, Las Vegas and had a couple days beforehand. But to travel, get off the bus, and come against us, and I think we play typically better against those harder teams and the ones that are kind of those traditional hitting teams. And so I think our block's going to be able to get on top of it and read it, and our digging is getting there. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And I think our front row is starting to see that they don't have to swing so hard to get a kill, that they can use a bunch of different tools. And so I'm really excited to see how we match up against them.
I did ask Schleck this question. I got to ask you too. Let's compare the 3 victories, because probably still the 3 best matches you've played this season. Of course, you played pretty well against Brandon Valley last Saturday as well. But where does this one rank in based on your opponent, based on how everybody played, a full team victory, and how you're feeling about it right now? Is this at the top of?
This is absolutely at the top. You come in and you're saying, yeah, it's an A school, but they've only lost 1 match all season. Before that, it only lost 1 set all season. They're a tough opponent. They've got the height and they've got some heavy hitters, and so this one definitely, just because we did roll, nobody had an off game. Everybody was rolling. Everybody was supportive. And this was really a full team effort, and that's what you always want to see as a coach.
So proud of everybody. So fun to watch, Coach.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure. Let's do it again on Tuesday.
Sounds
all right?
good.
Gary Wheelhouse, the Governor head coach, as the Pierre Governors defeat the Lennox Orioles today, 3-1. Let's take a 2-minute break. More of our Family Dental postgame coming up. The full recap when we've got a player of the game to announce when we come back as well. This is Pierre Governor Volleyball.
I'm Scott Nye. As a coach for the Pierre Governors, I know a winning game plan is crucial. When it comes to your finances, you deserve one too. At New Edge Advisors, our name is new, but our commitment to you isn't. We're the same trusted team you've known, and we've expanded our playbook of resources to help you plan for retirement, manage investments, and protect your future. Let's build the strategy that gets your financial future into the end zone.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors LLC is a separate entity from LPL Financial.
Dakota Storm Roofing is a locally owned roofing company in Pierre, specializing in both residential and commercial roofing services. They can handle your asphalt shingle, metal roofing, and flat roof needs. New construction, plus all types of roof repairs. They can handle the finishing touches, adding fascia, soffit, and gutters too. No job is too big or too small. For a free estimate, call Dakota Storm Roofing at 280-9794. Go to dakotastormroofing.com or find them on Facebook or Instagram.
Century Business Products is a proud provider of the most reliable Kyocera copiers and printers to the Pierre School District, backed by 5-time nationally awarded Kyocera servicing team. Are you looking to control color cost? Looking to reduce printers? Are you looking for more efficient ways to scan documents? Or maybe you'd like to become more paperless? Look no further than your local Century Business Products. Call 800-529-1950 and see how they're powering business technology.
Do you dream of a custom home built within your budget and done on time? Kruger Contracting can make that dream a reality. They're a trusted home builder since 2003. They're going to be upfront and open about cost and transparent about where your money is going when it comes to your new home. Their skilled crew will manage construction of your new home from start to finish. They're located in Pierre and can build your home in Pierre, Fort Pierre, or the surrounding area. Call 605-222-2523. Visit KrugerContracting.com or find Kruger Contracting on Facebook.
Back in Lennox here is, again, singing the praises of the Governors, just the way they played today. And obviously there are better teams coming up, especially in the next match. But a 4-set victory just feels good. An 8-match losing streak comes to an end for the Governors. They beat Lennox 3-1. And, kind of figured that after the Governors were able to get that first set, that we would be nip and tuck all the way. It turned out to be two teams that were very evenly matched, despite Lennox's 19-1 record. And I don't want to take anything away from the Orioles. I think they're an outstanding team. And the coach did kind of admit to me they didn't have the tests early on in the season. In fact, a 19-0 record, but the heavy hitters or the biggest matches and the toughest opponents they have coming up are still ahead of them. It all started with their previous match against Del Rapids. Of course, now they get their AA opponent here in the Governors, who I'm sure were better than Lennox thought they would be. I'll be honest, the Governors were much better than I thought they would be today. I think that's just why everybody's so excited to get that feeling of a W again in beating a quality opponent. Now, when as far as power points go, a huge win for the Governors. Even though you do lose 2 points, you get kind of 2 points taken away from you when you play a team that's a class lower. AA teams do. But still, the win percentage is going to stay as max points, as much as the Govs can get for this one. So this is a big boost as they try to get out of the from below the Mendoza line, looking at that Sodak 16. I'm going to forego the rest of the full recap, which I like to do, but very much back and forth. A lot of ties, a lot of lead changes in each of our 4 sets. But the Governors just, I think winning Game 3 really springboarded them. And early on there was frustration on the part of the Orioles in that 4th set. And the Governors were using that. And all they were doing was feeding off of it and getting stronger as that 4th set went along. And they never did trail in that 4th game. They started with a 3-0 lead. They won it 25-19, 3-1. So here's the stats in this one. Lennox in the kill column still outscores the Governors overall 50-43, and they're led by Libby Kranz, a 5'10 sophomore. Played like an all-stater today. 19 kills. She had 9 of them in that 4th set. They'll be next in line, headed up by Riley Heaton with 9 kills. Mallory Bittner with 8. 7 for Addison Martz. So they do spread the wealth pretty well. Jersey Hostetler with 4 and 3 kills for Sydney Johnson up front. for the Governors. 43 kills overall, and the leader is Alyssa Lowe, who had 5 kills in Game 4. She'll finish with a dozen. Allie Keys will check in with 10. 2 double-figure scores for the Governors. I don't think we've seen that all season long. Addie Novotny with 6. Marina Bushbaum with 5. 4 kills for Lexi Schleckaway and Sloan Waldron. 2 kills for Molly Olson as a setter, and a job well done there for the Governors. Blocking, very even. 7 block points for the Orioles. Mallory Bittner with 3. Sydney Johnson with a couple. 2 individuals. Martz and Heaton with 1 each. There were 5 individual players for the Governors, all with 1 ace block. Novotny, Bushbaum, Lowe, Schleckaway, and Keys, each with 1 apiece. And early on, the serving belonged to Lennox in the stats. They have 7 service aces, but all of their aces came in the first 2 sets. And this is a supreme example of how the Governors started playing better. Serve-receive improved dramatically as the match went along. In fact, the Governors finished with 13 aces compared to 7 misses. Lennox had 10 service errors, but serving turned into advantage Governors. So did the hitting errors as well. And Pierre didn't have too many hitting errors. They did have 6 in the second set, which was the one they lost. They go 4, 5, and 2 in the others. Only 2 hitting errors in that entire fourth set. They'll finish with 17. Lennox with 23 on the game. And it all adds up to a Governor victory. 25-23, 20-25, 25-22, 25-19. Big plays and, of course, big players who've shown today. The players of the game are brought to you by Bauman Lumber in Fort Pierre. Let's hear from them, and your player of the game is next in our Family Dental postgame. This is Governor Volleyball.
When you need building supplies, there's no need to go anywhere except to Bauman Lumber in Fort Pierre. Bauman Lumber is locally owned and offers quality products, expert advice, free estimates, and free local delivery for large or small projects. Whether it's a home improvement project, remodel job, or all new construction, they even welcome special orders. Quality building materials and affordable prices for residential or commercial projects can be found at Bauman Lumber, 1223 Sale Barn Road, Fort Pierre, or call 223-9762.
So many candidates when we talk about players of the game. I would be remiss if I didn't mention Libby Kranz of the Lennox Orioles again, the way she hit. And I mean, this is a gal who got stronger as the match went along, but she had 9 kills in that fourth set. If anybody was trying to keep that team alive, it was Libby Kranz for sure. 19 kills on a match high in that department. But for the Governors, you've got Alyssa Lowe with 12, Allie Keys with 10, both playing well. The Governors, starting to get the feel for playing that front line, but it was the back row that saved the day, in my opinion, in the last comment I made. But after we were off the mic with Coach Kerry Wheelhouse, was that the digging, or even on the mic, I said the digging was better on the Pierre side today, and that was led by Hadley Hart. In my opinion, 5'6" senior Hadley Hart played just outstanding today, and I even kind of get emotional about it. I was just so proud of the effort of everybody on the Governor's side of the court here today. So Hadley Hart just saved everything. Had a couple of aces, came in big spots, but it was the digging today, and the way the back row covered up a good block as well from behind the back row. Literally had their best day of the season, and that's a big reason why the Governors are winners today. Hadley Hart is today's Bauman Lumber player of the game. She's got a t-shirt heading in her direction noting her accomplishments. Govs win 3-1. So coming up, it is, as far as Lennox is concerned, they've got Garrettson on Monday night. That should be a winnable match for them. But then they've got #1 power-rated Dakota Valley down in North Sioux City, or McCook Lake to be specific. That's on Tuesday, so back-to-back matches coming up. They still have Sioux Falls Christian in the final match of their season coming up in a couple of weeks yet. For the Governors, well, whereas Lennox still has the best Class A teams on their schedule, Pierre has the best AA team on their schedule. Up next, the #1 Harrisburg Tigers come to Riggs High Gym. That'll be Tuesday night. We'll have it for you most likely here on KGFX. Once again, there will be a Governor's soccer match, and we'll have to try to see how we can fit that in. Of course, we're actually scheduled to do a Stanley County Sully Buttes matchup as well, but we'll have to figure something out. We will have Governor Volleyball with Harrisburg somewhere on DRG Media Group. Stay tuned for that. The Govs do go to Yankton on Thursday, also in the week ahead. We'll have that one for you here on River 92.7. Speaking of Governor soccer, 6-2 victories. The Governor girls moving on to the semifinals, and they will go to Harrisburg on Tuesday. That match will for sure be on River 92.7. And your official voice of the Pierre Governors. All good things in Governor sports here today. Governor girls sports in particular. So as we hit the road and head on home, we remind you on behalf of the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, it is text or drive. There is no and. And remember to buckle up every trip, every time as well. That's a reminder from the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety. Big shout out for Caleb Brozick. And hey, we got a camera thing that we can watch again and again, because it's going to come up with a positive ending each time of the Governor victory here today. Watch it, rewatch it on the KGFX page of DRGnews.com. And for Haley Hansen running the show in studio, I'm Brian Oakland. Once again, your final Wagner Auto scoreboard has the Govs winning 3-1. You've been listening to Pierre Governor Sports on your official voice of the Govs, River 90, KGFX. DRGnews.com Governor Sports is brought to you by your Pierre Sports marketing sponsors, including Bank West, Live Ticket, Century Business Products, Kruger Contracting, Overhead Door Company, New Edge Advisors, Avera Orthopedics, Capital City, Ford, Lincoln, Toyota, Superior Concrete, Dakota Storm Roofing, Beck Motors, and the Brittany Shufflebine Agency of American Family Insurance. Games also brought to you by other sports sponsors, including Tokyo Hibachi and Sushi, Hag Ag Services, Edward Jones and Pierre, the Pierre Regional Airport, Bauman Lumber, Zander Auto Parts, American Bank and Trust, and the Ramcota Hotel, Kathy Sonnenschein Properties, Ferding Electric, Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, Wagner Auto, Slumberland Furniture, Access Health in Fort Pierre, Oahe Federal Credit Union, Graham Tire, Dakota Mart, TMA, May Adam Law Firm, and Avera Health in Pierre. Governor Sports brought to you on KGFX by, in part by Venture Communications and by your KGFX in-game sponsors, including Bank West, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, AgTegra, CHS River Plains, Family Dental, Bauman Lumber, and Wagner Auto in Pierre. The one place to go. Final Wagner Auto scoreboard, 25-23, 20-25, 25-22, 25-19. Govs win today, here on your official voice of the Govs, KGFX and DRGnews.com. I'm Brian Oakland. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody.